Prior to tonight's game, 5 former Sulphur Springs High School athletic greats were inducted into the Sulphur Springs High School Wildcat Hall of Honor. The honorees include Jack Sickles, class of 1933. John Holloway, class of 1991. Mark Sevier, class of 1992. J. Paul Gordon, class of 1995. And Melissa McSheffrey Connecticut, class of 2004. Let's start with Jack Sickles, class of 1933. Jack Sickles was the second Wildcat football player to win all-state honors when he was named to the prestigious honor roll as a senior defensive end and flanker. A 3-year starter for the Wildcats on both sides of the ball, Sickles' main praises often appeared in newspapers from opposing teams. Paris, Gainesville, McKinney, Commerce, Highland Park, Greenville, and Dallas newspapers all pointed out the outstanding play of the Wildcat who stood 6 feet and weighed 170 pounds. He was described as a deadly tackler, a good blocker, and a nice pass receiver. In fact, he was everything it took to be a good end. Fellow All-State player and Wildcats Hall of Honor member Red Briggs had this to say: Jack Sickles played football as if it were a holy war. He gave his best effort on every play, relentless from whistle to whistle. Following high school graduation, Sickles attended Texas Tech University for 2 years, participating in all-star type games with pros from the Boston Redskins on 2 different occasions. He then returned to Sulphur Springs to run the family's 2,000-acre farm. In 1968, he became head of maintenance for Sulphur Springs ISD and later owned Bennett Lumber and Fence Company. Sickles married Joyce Geneva George Towns on October 10, 1941, and they had 3 children, a son, Johnny, and 2 daughters, Jackie and Jeannie. He and his wife, Joy, were married almost 58 years until his death in 1999. Wildcat Hall of Honor Committee Chairman Doug Evans is presenting the award posthumously tonight to Sickles' great-grandson, Jacob Garza, along with other family members, including his daughter, Jackie Childress, granddaughter, Paige Jackson, her husband, David Jackson, grandson, Josh Byers, and his wife, Tara, and their daughter, Taylor, and great-grandson, Enzo and Vince Garza. Jack Sickles. John Holloway, class of 1991. John Holloway was a 4-year letterman in track and field for Sulphur Springs High School and was a state silver medalist as a junior. He also still holds the Wildcat school record in the high jump at 6 feet 10 inches. He was a 3-time district champion in the high jump during his sophomore, junior, and senior years, along with a district runner-up finish as a freshman. He was a 4-time regional qualifier and a 3-time regional medalist in the high jump. He was state silver medalist during his junior year with a leap of 6 feet 9 inches at the state track and field meet. His personal best was 6 feet 10 inches in a Wildcat uniform and 7 feet a quarter inch during his time on the summer track and field circuit while in high school. He was also the national AAU runner-up in the high jump in 1988 at the University of Kansas. During his track and field career, Holloway won many high jump competitions and set multiple meet records. He was a 2-time competitor in the Texas relays, competing his junior and senior years in the high jump. He also competed in the long jump, triple jump, 400-meter dash, and on the 4x400-meter relay teams at Sulphur Springs High School. Holloway also competed for the Wildcats in football and basketball, earning 3 letters in football, along with 2 letters in basketball. He was a member of 2 district championship football teams his junior and senior season, playing quarterback, wide receiver, tight end, and punter. During his senior year, he was a team captain for the Wildcat football team and was named first team all-district punter. After graduating from Sulphur Springs High School in 1991, Holloway went on to Texas Tech University on a track and field scholarship. There, he was coached by U.S. Olympic gold medalist Louise Ritter. After lettering 2 years for the Red Raiders, Holloway finished his education at the University of North Texas, graduating with a degree in business administration. He has spent the last 20 years in the food and beverage manufacturing industry and is currently a business development manager for Advanced Process Solutions. He lives in Melissa, Texas with his wife of 19 years, Bridget, and their 3 children, Matthew, 17, Lauren, 14, and Luke, 9. Holloway's presenter tonight is his sister, Michelle Alexander. John Holloway. Mark Sevier, class of 1992. Mark Sevier was an all-state kicker and punter for the district champion Wildcat football team and a 4-year varsity letterman in soccer. Sevier was named first team all-state kicker and third team all-state punter as a senior, and he was also voted the district's punter and kicker of the year. He was district pro kicker of the year as a junior. The Wildcats were district champions each year. He was also a 4-year varsity letterman on the Wildcat soccer team and was named all-district forward as a senior. Following graduation, he accepted a football scholarship at Kilgore College and played in the fall of 1992. However, he suffered a broken leg when playing for Kilgore against Navarro that season. Due to the injury, he was unable to finish as Kilgore and enrolled at East Texas State University in the spring of 1993. He later transferred to Texas Tech University and graduated in 1998 with a BBA degree in international business. He then moved to the Dallas area and began a career in financial services indirect auto lending with American Honda Motors Company Incorporated, captive finance subsidiary. American Honda Finance Corporation Incorporated for 18 years. Sevier lives in Aubrey, Texas with his wife Cindy and children, Tristan, 16, and Annalise, 12. He enjoys watching and participating in his children's sporting events, including football, soccer, volleyball, cross country, track, FFA, and other various school activities. Presenting his award tonight is his former coach, Tom Young. Mark Sevier. J. Paul Gordon, class of 1995. J. Paul Gordon was an all-state offensive lineman for 2 state quarterfinalist Wildcat teams in the mid-90s. Gordon was named first team all-state on both the Associated Press and the Texas Sports Writers Association teams for 1994, his senior football season. The 6'6", 300-pounder was a 3-year starter for the Wildcats, including being named first team all-district his junior and senior seasons. Both of those years, the Wildcats advanced to the regional quarterfinal in football and won 12 games, which was a school record at the time. J. Paul was quoted in the yearbook saying, "Being first team all-state feels great. I felt that I was one of the best, and this just shows how hard work pays off." It also paid off with a football scholarship to the University of Miami. Gordon also was a 4-year letterman in track and field, 3-year letterman in powerlifting for the Wildcats. After his college career, Gordon moved back to Sulphur Springs, where he lived until his death on August 29, 2013, at the age of 36. His parents are Jimmy and Sue Gordon. He has one son, Jacoby Paul Gordon, age 13, a sister, Lisa Gordon, and a nephew, Zacchaeus Gordon. Gordon's former coach, Chuck King, is presenting the award posthumously tonight to Gordon's son, Jacoby, and sister, Lisa. J. Paul Jordan. Melissa McSheffrey Knesset, class of 2004. Melissa McSheffrey Knesset was an all-state and academic all-state softball player for the Lady Cats and went on to distinguish herself on the college diamond as well. A 3-year letterman of Sulphur Springs High School, she was the all-district newcomer of the year as a sophomore pitcher, third baseman, batting .462 in district and having a perfect 0 ERA. The team was undefeated in district and advanced to the regional quarterfinals. As a junior, she was the district's MVP, batting .370, leading the team in RBI, not recording an error in the field, and having a perfect pitching record. Lady Cats team was once again undefeated in district and the regional quarterfinals. Her senior year, she was the all-district Cojie player of the year when she averaged a team high .414. That season, she was named All-State, Academic All-State, and All-Star by the Texas Girls Coaching Association as she led the team with 10 doubles, 2 home runs, 13 extra base hits, and 22 RBI. She also set a school record in career home runs. She earned an athletic scholarship to play softball at St. Edward's University in Austin, where she was a 4-year starter for the Division II Hilltoppers. She was named first team all-conference as a sophomore, and she set the school's single-season home run record with 18. She was second team all-Parkland conference as a junior and as a senior. Along with her home run record, she also owns the St. Edward's record for career assists, 529, and most games played in the season, 70. Melissa graduated magna cum laude at St. Edward's University in 2008 with a BA in Communications and a minor in Business Administration. She has worked in the state of Texas for 50 years and currently works at the Texas Department of Information Resources as a contract manager. Melissa and her husband Stephen have been married for 2 years and live in Pflugerville, Texas. Her parents are John and Laura McSheffrey, and her siblings are Johnny McSheffrey and his wife Megan, and Michaela Lewis and her husband Barrett. Presenting her award tonight is her former coach, John McCall. Melissa McSheffrey Knesset.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Primm Stadium in Sulphur Springs as the Sulphur Springs Wildcats take on the Forney Jackrabbits. This should be a very exciting game for these two teams. The Wildcats doing a good job in district thus far this season. Forney has won 1 and lost 4 in their season record. Wildcats are 2-2. We'll see how tonight goes.
What?
No. What?
Not 2-2.
No.
2-0.
2-0. Sorry. District-wise, yeah. 2-0. I apologize for that. So anyway, we are getting ready to start our game here this evening as the Wildcats bleacher creatures are getting ready to come out. And then as they do, we're getting ready for some of the music to be played here this evening. I think perhaps the band is actually playing now. Did we pick any of that up? There we go. And the sound of the alma mater as they end. And, of course, as we get started with tonight's game, Don Julian will be doing your play-by-play. Doug Haston videotaping this game for replay on Channel 18. I'm Jim Rogers. We're glad you're with us. And, Don, let's take a look at those starting lineups.
Let's do it. We'll start with the Forney Jackrabbits. Their offensive starting lineup. We'll start with their quarterback. He's a junior. His name's Campbell Anderson. Their really good running back is Sean Stevens. He's a senior. They use a second running back. It'll be Colton Donnelly. Their four wide receivers include Peyton Johnson, Will Morgan, Braden Benjamin, and also Tyler Jones. Left tackle is Austin Schultz. Left guard is Cade Crawford. The center is Micah Owens. Right guard is Cade Baker, and the right tackle is Dalton Arbor. That's the offensive starters for Forney. And the Wildcats starting defense with their 3-4 base. Nose guard will be Ignacio Guerrero. And the defensive tackles are Jose Rodriguez and Evan Rushing. The inside linebackers, Bryce McQueen, Daniel Marino, and outside linebackers, D.Q. Pitts and Kylan Wade. The promotion you're hearing is for the bleacher creatures that Jimmy mentioned, where they just came out. On the corners for the Wildcats, Damian Dugan and Andy Edens, and the safeties are Landry Tyson and Austin Dodd. That's the Wildcats defense. Now we'll look at the defense for Forney, and they will either use a 3 or 4-man front. They use varied fronts, but their nose guard is Tochukwu Anusium, or as Matt Young just called him, Tochi. The defensive ends, Will Morgan and also Elijah Stewart. The linebacking core includes Gavin West and Xavion Waters on the outside. Then the strong side and weak side linebackers are Caden Anderson and Hunter Shaw. And then there in the middle, their big tackling machine is Graham Burns. On the corners, Austin Ream and also Riley McMurrin. And their free safety, we've told a really good one, he's Keyshawn Johnson. So that is Forney's Jackrabbits on defense. For the Wildcats on offense, we'll go starting with the left tackle, Philip Rader. The left guard is Giovanni Pisano. Center is Ethan Rogers. Right guard, Jacob Janitis. And the right tackle, Charlie Maddox. As the Forney Jackrabbits come hopping onto the field, Wildcats quarterback, Decorian Young. Running back, Caden Davis. Slot receivers are Austin Dodd and Chase Haney. And the wide receivers, Landry Tyson and Jace Thompson, as Wildcats are preparing to make their charge on the field. And Jimmy, it should be a big one for the Wildcats. With such a big district, you just need to rack up as many district wins as you can get and hope that you're still hanging around at the end as the Wildcats come roaring onto the field. They got stopped, but now they're coming.
Well, a little flag issue there. Looks like South Broadway and I-30. We are getting ready for this game to begin, and Don, you're exactly right. Wildcats want you to pick up one more win here as we continue this district season. Wildcats have done a great job so far. It's about 82 degrees down on the field this evening. It's going to be a little bit warm. A bit of a breeze. The wind's supposed to be between 5 and 10 miles per hour, and the flags are flying fairly nicely here as we get ready for the beginning of this game. I was looking earlier at some of the games that are going on tonight. Corsicana is at Terrell to play. Ennis is over at Royce City. Forney here in Silver Springs. Greenville in North Forney. So some really great games will be played this evening. Kaufman will have the night off. Captains getting ready to come out onto the field. The Forney captains are ready. Wildcat captains coming into place.
I always like to talk about who carried that flag. You were talking about some issues, but that was one of the linemen. That was Philip Rader.
Excellent.
Was carrying the flag that time. So I don't know what happened. He put on the brakes. So
he stopped to make a block, probably.
I guess so. He didn't want to hit somebody in the back.
Yeah, probably so. Looks like our captains this evening, number 9, D.Q. Pitts, number 24, Andy Edens, number 46 is Jermon Bryant Amos, and number 78 is, see that in a second, Hayden Daniel.
Hoss.
Yeah. And now the prayer and the national anthem to follow.
Remain standing for the national anthem played by the Sulphur Springs High School Wildcat Band under the direction of Spencer Emerson.
And the national anthem by the high school band. It's a real nice crowd on hand here this evening, considering all that's going on in our community. We've got the ribeye roundup going on downtown Celebration Plaza, and it is quite crowded down there, according to reports that we've received.
Keep those shackles on Doug, or he'll be downtown in about 5 minutes.
And a lot of other things going on in our area. The captains making their way out to the center of the field. One of the first evenings that the weather at least has not been raining as we get ready to play here at Prim Stadium. And it should be a really good evening for football. Captains greeting one another there in the center of the field, and we're about to have the coin toss.
Captains for Forney are Sean Stevens, Will Morgan, and also Austin Ream, their cornerbacks.
And Derek Driver, principal of Sulphur Springs High School, coming by to say hello. Delighted that he stopped in the booth tonight.
He was at volleyball also. That was where I was earlier, and I barely made it here.
Forney
played 5 sets and lost to Texas High in a heartbreaker.
Forney won the toss. They deferred. Forney will be defending the south goal, and the Wildcats will be defending the north goal, and the Wildcats have chosen to receive.
Forney's roster has, it looks like I counted about 43 players. That's so-so in size. The Wildcats with really good numbers this year, over 50. So one of the largest rosters. We can remember a time 3-4 years ago that we barely seemed like we had less than 35 guys over there.
Yeah.
One reason or the other, but those numbers are coming back.
And here comes, hey.
Let's see, what is that guy's name?
Well, I'm trying to remember. Tristan Abrams just dropped in.
Oh, yeah, Tristan Abrams.
Look, I guess we're not playing tonight, right? No, they got an off night. I didn't think he deserted his team. But anyway, Tristan Abrams, the new head coach down at Paul Pewitt. And
good to see him.
Yeah, always great to see him. And we're getting ready for this kickoff. It is the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff, and Forney will be kicking the ball. Don Julian will be doing your play-by-play. Doug Haston videoing for Channel 18. I'm Jim Rogers. We're glad you're with us. And Don, here comes the kick.
Yes, it's all teed up. The Wildcats have 2 players back deep. And Forney will kick it off and put the toe into it, and it's a rocket kick that's going to land several yards into the end zone and go all the way out of the end zone. The Wildcats back there that time were Decorian Sims and also Colton Allen. It went over Allen's head, and he just let it hit and go all the way through the end zone. So the Wildcats will be starting from their own 25-yard line. First down and 10 against the Forney Jackrabbits. And they've got a very good front three, we're told. Coach Owens was worried initially because two of those guys have skill player numbers on in the D line. Number 4 and number 10. You don't see that. DeCorian Young in the naked backfield from the 25 takes the snap, throws the ball. It is caught, and Austin Dodd up around the 30 after the catch, and then he is kind of mugged and knocked out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. A legal mugging, by the way. That was a pass good for 5 yards. And it'll be second down and 5 for the Wildcats at the 30-yard line.
Wildcats moving the ball just quickly here.
They're trying to increase the tempo. We will have to see how successful that is. They thought they had kind of lulled into a little bit of a slow pace, and so they worked on the off week to try to work on that. Second down and 5 from the 30-yard line. DeCorian Young takes the snap, a handoff running back, and this is Caden Davis running for the first down across the 30 to the 37-yard line. First and 10 for the Wildcats.
And Silver Springs Dodge Chrysler Jeep first down as the Wildcats continue to move quickly.
And DeCorian back in the shotgun with Davis with him to his left. Two receivers out left and right for the Wildcats against Forney's defense. A snap, fake to the running back, throw down the field, incomplete. Dodd was scissored in half right about the time he tried to catch the ball. He got hit real hard, and Forney player a little bit slow getting up after that very hard hit there. And see if we can give that guy some credit for a big defensive play. That was Ryan Willis. So second down and 10 for the Wildcats. They're at their own 37-yard line after the incomplete pass. Again, DeCorian Young. Two receivers out to the right, one to the left. Here's a snap and a fake, and DeCorian will keep. He's in trouble. He tried to make something happen there. He's going to get 1 yard on the play. Or actually a loss back to the 36-yard line, so it'll be third down and 11 needed for the Wildcats now from their own 36-yard line. I don't know where I decided the 35 was going to be the line of scrimmage on that last play. Two receivers left and right for DeCorian Young on this big third down play. And takes a snap. The ball is lost, and now DeCorian trying to scramble out of there. A big rush. He's in trouble. He's going to be snowed under back at the 15-yard line. That play just really blew up in the Wildcats' faces there. And all the way back to the 16, 17-yard line. So going to need almost 30 yards for a first down. With a fourth down and 29, punt time for Jermon Bryant Amos.
I think that was the worst offensive play we've had all season.
Oh, that was a snap that came up short. Here's the snap back to Bryant Amos, and he gets a whale of a kick away, taken by Forney back at their own 43, but the Wildcats cover the kick well, and they swarm the ball carrier, the punt returner at the 45-yard line. So it'll be first down and 10 now for Forney at their own 45-yard line.
Great punt by Amos, and Wildcats ready to go here.
Yeah, they underestimated his leg. They thought, I guess, that the wind was going to hold him down or something, which it doesn't look like much wind up there aloft. And nice long kick and good coverage. Sometimes you out-kick the coverage. But Forney now starting first down and 10 from the 45-yard line. A little movement there, a little contact, the flag flies, and an illegal procedure, the initial call against Forney, causing that defensive end to jump across. So they'll move 5 yards back to the 40-yard line.
He called it.
Trying to get the, I'm sure I have the Wildcat player. I think that was Rodriguez, perhaps. Yeah, Jose Rodriguez, but he was drawn off. First down and 15 for Forney now at their own 40. Anderson, the quarterback, And he takes the snap. He throws a pass. It is caught across the 40 and up to about the 43-yard line where a good secure tackle, and that was one of Coach Owen's keys to the game. That pass was caught that time. Thought that was a number 1 over there. And that would be Xavion Waters. He does catch the ball. I saw where he caught a touchdown in one of the games. So second down and 11 now for Forney at their own 44-yard line. Anderson, the quarterback, hit just slightly less than 50% of his passes this year. Another pass and hit right away, right after the catch. Real good defense there for the Wildcats closing in.
Dietrich Clayton, the man who made the tackle.
Very good for Dietrich. He was actually kind of waiting. He looked like he debated whether to jump the route, and he just let the guy catch it, and then made a very secure tackle back at the 43. Third down, and Forney needs 12 yards for the first down. So a big third down play now for the Forney Jackrabbits. Anderson, the quarterback, takes the snap and kind of floats back there. Here's Stevens on the run, and he will move forward, but not nearly enough. He got across, gained a couple of yards up to about the 47-yard line, but that'll be short by 8 yards for the first down. Forney at their own 47, and the Wildcats think they're going to punt, and Forney has a player in to do that punting right now. For the Forney Yellow Jackets, or whatever roster I need. I'm looking at the other one. This is Colby Ortega, their kicker. A good snap this time, a rush, but he got it away. He went down and he drew the flag. Oh my, very little contact, but the Wildcats will get the call for running into the kicker. And then return for the Wildcats, Austin Dodd, and he is cut down inside the 20-yard line, but
I get it. The preliminary call was obviously roughing the kicker.
Now, used to, they had the running into the kicker, which was only a 5-yard penalty.
Got running into the kicker.
So that would still make it 4th and 2. I think that's just a 5-yard penalty.
And not an automatic first down.
I don't believe so.
They're going to let the Wildcats take the ball back here. They decline the penalty.
Well, they did it.
47 on the defense. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty assessed from the end of the punt. First down.
So they'll lose that. They lost that, or they will lose that 5 yards now at the end of the punt. And here's the walk-off, and it's going to take it back to the 16-yard line. So all in all, not too bad for picking up a call like that. But now the Wildcats start 1st and 10 from their own 16. 7:29 left here in the first quarter. 0-0 from Gerald Prim Stadium. Forney and the Wildcats of Sulphur Springs. And DeCorian Young back with the running back. 2 receivers out to the left and 1 to the right. And back to DeCorian. Fakes to the running back. Throws a pass. It's caught across the 25. Receiver knocked off his feet. That was Landry Tyson. And Landry Tyson across the 25 to the 26-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Picked up exactly 10 yards.
Sulphur Springs Dodge Chrysler Jeep first down as the Wildcats move the ball up.
Landry Tyson right now is that single receiver out to the left all by his lonesome. 2 receivers to the right for the Wildcats. A snap and a running play now for Colton Allen across the 30, across the 35, across the 40. First down and 10 for the Wildcats as Colton Allen runs up to the 41-yard line and picks up 1st and 10 for the Wildcats, their second one on this series. And look at that pace. Here's a snap. We're going to have to get Jimmy's acknowledgement after the running play, which will be a short run of a couple of yards for the Wildcats. Be 2nd down and 8 from about the 37-yard line.
So Colton Allen picks up that Sulphur Springs Dodge Chrysler Jeep first down and then gains a couple more. Now we have a timeout.
Oh, we have looks like an injured player limping off on his own power, but he has a slight limp there for the Wildcats.
Charlie Maddox. No, excuse me, Hayden
Daniels, Big Hoss. They call him, like Hoss Cartwright, because he is a big fellow. Hayden's well over 300, I believe. So 2nd down and 8 now for the Wildcats at the 43-yard line. DeCorian Young, the quarterback. Will take the snap, fakes to the running back, throws a pass. It's caught by Jace Thompson, And Thompson close to the first down and moves across the 50. And first and 10 for the Wildcats at their Forney 49-yard line.
Silver Springs Dodge Chrysler Jeep first down as the Cats just rifled that pass.
Under 6 minutes to play, first quarter, 0-0 here from Gerald Prim. Back to DeCorian Young. Pass to the halfback. It's caught out there by Chalk Sims. He's going to move across the 50, and then he is cut down. And it's a gain of only about a yard on the play. It'll be second down and 9 now for the Wildcats at the Forney 48-yard line.
Good twist by Chalk to pick up that yard that he got.
That was a good play to catch the ball. It was not an easy catch. It looked like right over his head almost. Back to DeCorian Young. He takes the snap. Here's a flanker coming around and a handoff across the 50 to the 45, across the 40, the 35. That's Austin Dodd. Dodd inside the 20 and finally moves all the way down. It looked like he stepped out of bounds at the 15-yard line. First and 10 for the Wildcats. And Dodd, he was so wide open on that play, kind of slowed down and let his blockers move out in front.
Yeah. And Silver Springs Dodge Chrysler Jeep first down as Dodd waited on that block.
And we have a timeout taken on the play by the Forney Jackrabbits. 5:06 left here in the first quarter. Wildcats 0 and Forney 0. Let's take a break and we'll be back in a moment. That's what I call a cacophony. First down and 10 for the Wildcats at the 15-yard line. And DeCorian Young back in the shotgun for the Wildcats. We'll take the snap, and he will hand off to Chuck Sims, and he's on the way to the end zone. And Chuck is into the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats. Chuck Sims with a 15-yard touchdown run, and he was wide open on that left side.
And Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op says, way to go, Wildcats, as Sims takes that one in for the touchdown, and here comes the extra point try.
And it looks like, once again, the Wildcats kind of getting in this pattern where they like to go for two. Right now, they've got players scattered all over the field, and now they think better of it. They didn't get the look they were looking for, I guess, and now they will just go for the extra point kick. And out for the Wildcats now is Brandon Zavala, with Jace Thompson doing the holding for the Wildcats.
And too much time as the Wildcats had one extra player on the field. They tried to get him off, but didn't. Delay of game.
And that'll cost them 5 on the extra point. So this will be a little bit long of an extra point. Be more like a field goal, a real short field goal look, as the ball's being placed down at the 15. So this would only be in the range where you would try a 25-yard field goal. But this is the extra point here. Snap is a good one. The ball is down. Zavala kicks. It's on the way. Spinning through the uprights, and the kick is good. 4:58 left here in the first quarter of play. We have a new score now from Gerald Prim Stadium. The Wildcats of Sulphur Springs 7 and the Forney Jackrabbits 0.
We'll take a break and be back. 4:58 left to go in the first quarter. 7 for the Wildcats, 0 for Forney as the Cats get on the board on that offensive drive. Now they're getting ready to kick the ball to Forney.
Once again, Brandon Zavala will be kicking. That was an 84-yard touchdown drive for the Wildcats. It started after they had that penalty yardage tacked on after a punt by Forney back to the 16-yard line. The Wildcats cover 84 yards, and Chalk Sims got the last 15 and got the touchdown run. So I know that kid's very excited. He's had a lot happen to him this year, but he's glad to be out there now. Here's Zavala's kick, and it's a short one down the field. Forney takes it inside the 30, running back up to right around the 35-yard line. Then gang tackle, but the pile is moving. And it looked like a rugby scrum there that moved all the way to the 40, and they gave him every bit of that before they finally blew the whistle dead. So he'll get all 5 more yards up to the 40-yard line. That was a weird thing like that.
It certainly was, but that extra push gave them that extra 5.
Well, these officials, if they feel like that pile is continuing to move and the impetus has not been stopped, they will continue to give that player a chance to for that huge pile to move right down the field. Forney now has their quarterback, Anderson, back in a empty backfield and has 3 receivers right and 2 to the left. It definitely looks like a passing situation now for the
and we have a flag back here.
Jackrabbits is what I was trying to think. We haven't played these guys since 2005, and I wasn't even here then. That's my excuse. There's a 5-yard penalty against Forney for taking too much time. Yeah. And so they'll start first down and 15. Seems like this second drive that they've had that happen to them. Had an illegal procedure the first drive. Snap back to Anderson. He looks down the field. He shoots the pass, and it is caught over there. And good tackle, a gain of about 3 yards on the play. And it'll be second down and 7 for Forney, and they'll be up at the 43-yard line. Of course, that gain of more than 3, it gained 8 because they had that 5-yard penalty. So here is second down and 7 now from the 43-yard line. Anderson looks pretty good throwing the football. And back to Anderson. Here's a running play. Now Stevens for Forney, and he breaks through there and gets a big gain across the 40 down to the 36-yard line. Let's call it the 37-yard line in Wildcats territory. First down and 10, and you could see why Stevens is so dangerous back there. He can split that defense and keep going for a while.
Yeah, he read that really well.
And again, Anderson, the quarterback, takes the snap. Hands off. Stevens running to the right. Stevens across the 35, down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. And they're just 2 yards short of the first down. It'll be second down and 2 for the Wildcats. And this is what Coach Guerrera thought that his defense would face this week, would be a steady diet of Stevens and kind of a smash-mouth approach. But Anderson has come out winging the ball quite a bit. Maybe he's opened up the run a little bit. He will try, he will keep, and now right around the right side, picks up the first down and gets, he runs out of bounds, looks like right at the 25-yard line. First down and 10, let's call it the 26-yard line. First down and 10 for the Jackrabbits.
And North Forney trailing Greenville. It's Greenville 7, North Forney 6.
Wow. And Anderson from the shotgun on the first down play, and he will have Stevens running to the left, and he's in trouble. That is not Stevens, by the way, but he was thrown for a loss. That was the second running back, Colton Donley, and he is thrown back to the 28. That's a loss of 2 on the play. It'll be second down and 12. As, boy, you could see the speed difference between Stevens and Donley, the backup. Loss of 2. It'll be second down and 12 from the 28-yard line.
Yeah, Stevens got a lot of speed.
And so Anderson back there in the shotgun for Forney. And Campbell Anderson takes the snap, back in the pocket, looking down the field, shoots a pass, receiver wide open, caught, touchdown Forney. As the receiver got open, that was Hunter Shaw getting open down the field and makes the catch. He also plays linebacker for the Jackrabbits, those rascally Wabbits. And they just scored a touchdown to make it a 7-6 ball game, and extra point pending.
Pass a little high. He reached up nicely and grabbed that one.
He is so darn wide open.
Yep, he was.
And now the Forney extra point kick. And the kick on the way, kind of sprayed it up there, and the kick is good. It was successfully put through there by Matthew Huffman, who does all the kicking. I noticed he had kicked several field goals as I was looking at some of the other games that Forney had played this year. 3:07 left here in the first quarter, and we're all tied up here from Gerald Prim Stadium. It's the Wildcats 7 and Forney 7. Let's take a break, and we'll be back in a moment.
3:07 to go here in the quarter.
Here's the Forney kickoff. It's a short kick this time. Fair catch call for the Wildcats. Not inside that 25-yard line. Well, that kind of immaterial, doesn't it? Because he made the catch at the 29, so it'll be first down and 10. Thinking about that new rule this year where if you make a fair catch inside the 25, you get it at the 25, but you don't want them to move you back to the 29-yard line. First down and 10 for the Wildcats after the fair catch at their own 29-yard line. Boy, you can tell one of us had a bye week last week.
No kidding.
I tell you what, I do remember what we looked like, though. Here's DeCorian Young passing. Ball is caught, and it's Austin Dodd, and he will get only up to about the 30-yard line, a gain of 1 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9 needed. The Wildcats at their own 30-yard line. And 2 receivers out to the left, 2 to the right, and the running back there with DeCorian Young. And takes the snap, a good one, looks down the field, pass is caught in the secondary, and then the receiver is cut down just short of the first down. Landry Tyson, already his 2nd catch in the ball game. He's up to around the 38-yard line, 1 yard short of the first down. 3rd and 1 for the Wildcats. As 2:22 left here in the first quarter, we're tied at 7. DeCorian Young on the big 3rd down play. Just need 1 yard here. And Forney jumps. And DeCorian Young sails the pass down the field. Receiver flying down there, incomplete. Tried to find Landry Tyson on a deep pass, but I think they were playing with house money there because it looked like half the Forney defense jumped offside.
Here's the call in just a second. Thought he was about, here it is.
Encroachment. 47, Forney. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Result of the play will be a first down.
Well, if I was 47, I would say, hey, why do I get the flag? There were 5 of my teammates that jumped with me. But I guess you got to identify somebody.
Maybe for first.
That'd be my luck. Here's DeCorian Young back in the shotgun. Trip receivers out to the right, 1 receiver to the left. First down and 10 for the Wildcats. Here's a pass over to Austin Dodd. He catches it across the 40, and Dodd blasts down the field across the 30, inside the 20. Dodd running all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats. 57 yards from DeCorian Young to Austin Dodd, and he took off like a supercharged car after he made that catch and just raced by the Forney defense.
And Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op says, way to go Wildcats, as he takes that one to the end zone. Great job of running. Matter of fact, he did a little stutter step that gave him a break and to go between a couple of tacklers and made it in.
Extra point coming up for the Wildcats now. Once again, Brandon Zavala, the kick on the way, and the kick is good. 1:55 left in what has been a very exciting first quarter. Wildcats 14 and Forney 7, and we'll take another break here, and we'll be back in a moment.
1:55 left in the first quarter. It's 14 for the Wildcats, 7 for Forney. And I didn't give the fashion report when we started the game tonight. The Wildcats are in blue uniforms, solid blue uniforms, white numbers, blue helmets. The Forney team in solid white with black numbers, I guess they are, and white helmets.
Now, I would call these like a metallic blue, would you?
Well,
not?
yeah.
I mean, they are really almost grayish. It's like a lot of gray mixed in with the blue.
I'm not trying to make it hard on those who are trying to imagine the game.
Well, just imagine a metallic blue. I mean, it's certainly not a royal blue. You watch Doug's video, you say he needs a color adjustment.
Most are looking it up.
And here is the kick by Brandon Zavala, and he kicks this one deep, and this is going to go all the way. It hits, but finally made its way into the end zone. They used to, remember in the old days in the pros when the ball did that, it was a live ball outside the end zone.
Right.
But now they changed the rule, and once it goes into the end zone, it's a dead ball, and it just made it in that time as the receiver let it go, and it was kind of tantalizingly close.
Yes.
But Forney will start first down and 10 from their own 24-yard line after a real nice kick by Zavala. Coach Owens always says, well, we don't have the leg for a touchback. That's the second time this season that his kickers have proved him wrong, but they usually just don't kick it long. Now Anderson, the quarterback, he fires a pass out. It is caught, and the receiver down the sideline gets the first down across the 40 up to the 42-yard line for Forney. And that pass was caught by Braden Benjamin, a sophomore. So from the 42-yard line, first down and 10 for the Forney Jackrabbits. Here's a running play. Stevens, the running back. The Wildcats looked like they were tackling the football, but he was hanging on there, and Stevens all the way to the 49-yard line. Gain of 7 on the play. It'll be second down and just 3 needed for Forney, and they're at their own 49-yard line. Stevens looks like a good running back. He's got close to 600 yards of rushing in their first 5 ball games. Almost every one a 100-yard game. I think one he didn't. There, they'll try Stevens again. He gets the first down. He breaks down the sideline. And Stevens is going to run all the way for a touchdown for Forney. And Stevens, a 51-yard touchdown run. And we've got an explosion taking place here in the first quarter from Gerald Prim Stadium.
You're exactly right, Don. That was great speed. He really just poured it on when he got to the line of scrimmage. Broke through. Some nice blocking by that Forney line.
Yeah, usually he'll, take 20, 25 carries to maybe get that 150 yards or something. But, boy, he got a huge chunk right there. Huffman, the kicker for Forney. The ball is down. The kick on the way, and the kick is good. 55 seconds left in a wild and crazy first quarter. It's the Wildcats of Sulphur Springs 14 and Forney 14. Let's take a break here, and we'll be back in a moment.
Our score tied 14-all with 55 seconds left in this first quarter. Forney kicking to the Wildcats after their TD.
Plenty of time to score more here. Here's a Forney kick, and it's going to be taken right at the 5-yard line by Colton Allen. He's across the 15 to the 20. Allen to the 25 to the 30, and up around the 34-yard line on the kickoff return by Colton Allen. First down and 10 for the Wildcats, and they will start their next drive here in the first quarter. My goodness, this is more possessions than they had in that Royce City game at the half. And already got all these possessions here real quickly in this football game. First down and 10 from the 34-yard line. There must have been was there a flag, Jimmy?
I didn't see one, but we'll see.
They're moving them back now.
Look in the back.
Oh, yeah, okay.
45, Sulphur Springs. It's going to be a 10-yard penalty from the spot. First down.
And the spot was about the 25-yard line, so it's back to the Wildcats now. Let me take that 34 off of my notepad here and put a big 15 in its place. First down and 10. The Wildcats at their own 15. They started their first touchdown drive from the 16. 47 seconds left in here in the first quarter, and it's 14-14. DeCorian Young, empty backfield, will hand off. Oh, and the ball is dropped, and now a scramble for the ball back around the 5-yard line. I hope DeCorian got on it there. They're still scrambling, and the Wildcats did recover at the 5-yard line. Good job by DeCorian, because, the hog bladder there was bouncing around at the 5-yard line.
It just got left behind in that play.
Yeah, there's a handoff that didn't happen crisply, and the Wildcats lose back to the 6-yard line. So a 9-yard loss on the play. So it'll be second down and 19. The Wildcats, DeCorian Young is just outside the goal line, out on the field. So he is back with his back to the wall there, so to speak. Takes the snap a little low, looks down the field, scrambling back there. He's in the end zone, and he's going to throw the ball over into the Wildcat sideline. Did have a receiver somewhere in the vicinity. Connor Bergen was in the same zip code anyway.
Looks like it after Google Maps.
And that's the end of the first quarter with that incomplete pass. The Wildcats will have terrible field position as we open the second quarter. But it's been a wild first quarter. And after one here at Gerald Prim Stadium, the Wildcats of Sulphur Springs 14 and the Forney Jackrabbits 14. Let's take a break, and we'll be back in a moment.
Wildcats 14, Forney 14. Second quarter begins.
And third down now, and the Wildcats need 20 yards as they're back at their own 2-yard line. And DeCorian takes a snap. He looks. He fires a pass. It's caught by the Wildcats across the 20, trying to run for extra yardage. Landry Tyson made the catch. He's going to get it up to the 22. Needed all the way to the 25-yard line, so that'll be short by about 3 yards, and the Wildcats will be forced to punt it away deep in their own territory. And that'll bring in the tall fellow there, Jermon Bryant Amos.
Well, the good news is they got it a little further away from the end zone.
Well, the good thing with his strong leg, he can really whale away on this one. Really punish that football, as he usually does. He gets a high snap, but he's a tall fella, and boots it down the field well over the Forney punt returner inside the 20 and rolls out of bounds at the 14-yard line. My goodness, a 64-yard punt by Jermon Bryant Amos.
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice.
Yes, it was. That's exactly, it shows what he can do. He can really kick the heck out of that football, and that they are underestimating him as a punter.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who they saw. They must have seen the block and said, well, his average is not very good if you factor in that block.
Yeah, and he'd been kicking some short ones at the beginning of the season, but he was dropping every one of them inside the 20.
Yeah, which is exactly what you want.
Yeah. So
first down and 10 for Forney back at the 15-yard line. Back to Anderson. Looks down the field, throws a pass, incomplete. He left that one a little bit short for his receiver as he tried to get it out to Braden Benjamin. And Benjamin, I'm pretty sure he's got double-figure catches this year. They've got about 3 receivers that coming in that had caught at least 10 balls, and he was one of them. Second down and 10 now for Forney at their own 15, and they'll try a running play. And here's Stevens bursting through, and he will pick up the first down and move up almost to the 30-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 29. So first down and 10 as Forney's offensive line is really beginning to work out there against the Wildcats defense. So first and 10 for the Yellow Jackets, I guess. We just don't play these jackrabbits enough, or we don't play the lady rabbits very much. David Carrillo would say, I'll pass on them in softball, thank you very much, after they won the state championship last year. Here's a direct snap and running straight ahead. Looked like a Wildcat back there. Austin Ream on the carry. He's normally a cornerback and a receiver, and he runs up to the 36-yard line, 3 yards short of the first down. Second down and 3, and boy, Forney is pulling out all the stops here as they really are doing a lot on offense, a lot of different things. So second down and 3. Here's a snap, and it's another direct snap to Ream, and he's running. He's got the first down across the 40 to the 41-yard line for Austin Ream. Unfortunately, they called that the Wildcat back, which when we play him is highly confusing, but whoever created that play was a Wildcat mascot, obviously, and that's the name for that kind of package. First down and 10 from the 41-yard line for Forney. I think they've got Anderson back in there now, and here's a handoff. Quarterback fake around the right side across the 50 and tackled at the 46-yard line. And once again, that was Campbell Anderson, and he ripped off a 31-yard touchdown run in one of Forney's games. So he is not a bad runner at all, and we just saw it looked pretty good. First down and 10 for Forney. They're on the Wildcat 47-yard line. We're tied at 14 with 9:14 left in the second quarter. These Wascally Wabbits are threatening to score again here. Back to Anderson. He throws the ball down the field, incomplete off the receiver's hands. He got one mid up there, and it could not bring it in with one hand. Incomplete pass. Second down and 10 for Forney. Tried to hit Hunter Shaw. He of the touchdown fame earlier in the ball game here. And here we go with second down and 10 now for Forney at the 47 in Wildcat territory. Anderson, the quarterback. And Campbell Anderson takes the snap, hands off Stevens running to the right, and he just moves north-south. He is a north-south runner. Those are the worst kind when you're trying to tackle them and stop them. But he got tackled at the 42. That's 5 yards short of the first down. So it'll be 3rd down and 5 for Forney, and they're at the Wildcat 42-yard line. This is a big play for this Wildcat defense. They've had a hard time stopping them. Anderson takes the snap, handoff, Stevens sweeping to the left, and he got around the corner. He's very close. He dives for the first down yardage. He's very close. I think he came up a little short.
Yep.
And maybe half a yard, and it's going to be 4th down and less than 1. And Forney...
I'm sure they'll go for this one.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, the way these teams are scoring, and bless, they're on the 38-yard line. Not, it's not a terrible place if you didn't make it, but they've made everything lately that they've tried. I think they're going to go back to that special quarterback. Ream is back in there again. He's got Donnelly to his left. And now they're going to, we have a timeout taken here as with 7:47 left here in the second quarter. Wildcats 14, Forney 14. Let's take the break with them and back in a moment. Big 4th down play now. Very short play here, probably just a foot or two for Forney. And again, Ream, the quarterback, will take the snap and he'll run straight ahead. He's hit in there. It looked like he got forward enough to pick up the first down. He didn't make a whole lot, but he didn't need a whole lot. And so I'm fairly certain that will move the chains for Forney. Depends on the spot, of course. And they may...
this might be...
They may have... No, they're going to go ahead and send the chain gang down 10 yards.
No, he didn't. He was going to measure it. Now they've all moved.
They must... Well, yeah, that's it. Well, I wonder that part of that... Now he signals 1st and 10.
He didn't have a choice.
Well, I think there's that thing that goes down on the 35-yard line. That should be intact, I would think. But I don't know. But anyway, 1st down and 10's moot right now. The Forney inside the Wildcats 40-yard line, 1st down and 10. And here is Anderson. He's rolling to the right. He's looking down the field. He's going to keep. He's across the 35, and he is tackled at about the 32-yard line. It's going to be about a 5-yard gain for Campbell Anderson. So it'll be 2nd down and 5 for the Forney team. The yellow, I want to say Yellow Jackets. I do not know why. They're the Jack Rabbits. And Anderson back there will take the snap. He'll hand off Stevens. He sloughs off a couple of tackles and moves down close to the first down yardage. Seemed like he was hit right on the yardage. I think he made that one. Depends on the spot, I'm sure. 1st down and 10 for Forney as they continue to move on a nice drive here all the way down to the 26-yard line. And somewhere they really found themselves. They struggled for a couple of drives, seemed like, and then, man, they have been spot on. There's a back to Anderson. Throws the ball down the field. It's caught by receiver heading into the end zone. Touchdown for Forney. That was a 26-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah, that was one of those where Wildcats just did not have the man covered. He went between 2 defenders as though the Wildcats were playing a zone defense. And
that was a big, tall player. Looked like a guy that you would like to see on your basketball court if you're the Forney basketball coach. His name is Riley McMurrin. Here's the extra point kick by Forney. And up there by Hoffman, and the kick is good. Huffman it is. And so 6:22 left here in the second quarter. A new score here from Gerald Friend Stadium. And for the first time in this football game, the Forney Jackrabbits have moved ahead of the Wildcats. Forney 21, Sulphur Springs 14. There's 6:22 left in the second quarter. We'll take a break, back in a moment.
Go ahead, Don.
And Colby Ortega puts the foot into the ball and kicks it down the field, coming up a little short. Here's the Wildcat return across the 15, across the 20, across the 25, up around the 28, 29-yard line. Colton Allen on the return. And the Wildcats will start just shy of the 30-yard line.
6:16 left in this second quarter. It's 21 for Forney, 14 for the Wildcats. Coming up at halftime, the sound of the Wildcat marching band and Butch Burney with statistics of the first half of play.
After the Wildcats scored a couple of touchdowns, they've had trouble moving the ball now. Here's back to the quarterback, and he hands off Colton Allen. A nice run around the right side this time as he will run across the 35 up to the 37-yard line. 8-yard gain by Colton Allen. It'll be 2nd down and 2 for the Wildcats in this hurry-up offense. Back to DeCorian Young, and he'll try a run to the left with Colton Allen. Trying to get around the corner. He will pick up the first down. He crosses the 40 up to the 41-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats on another run of at least about 5 yards to pick up the first down.
Silver Springs Dodge Chrysler Jeep first down.
You could see that increased tempo on that play. We're kind of challenging that Forney defense to get ready quickly, and it worked for the Wildcats for a first down. DeCorian Young back in the shotgun. Will take the snap, looking to the right. Now scrambling out of the pocket. He's drawing a big crowd. He circles back the other way, looking down the field and throws the ball down. It's caught by Austin Dodd inside the 40. A flag flies. I think somebody got his face mask. And in the 39-yard line, a nice play there, Austin Dodd. We've noticed that before. He just never quits running around trying to get open. And DeCorian Young, with his tremendous ability to scramble, throws a big play.
Face mask, 30 at Forney. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
And again, the end of the run was the 39, so be a big walk-off against the Jackrabbits to the 24-yard line. First down and 10 for the Wildcats, so that was quite a play.
It was. Great blocking and great pass.
And DeCorian looking to the right, and then he just peeled back and came to the left. DeCorian from the shotgun takes the snap. He fakes and keeps to the right side inside the 20. Gets a great block down there. DeCorian Young dives for the end zone touchdown Wildcats.
Nope.
Oh, he's out at the 2. I thought he had gotten in there. His big foot must have just gone across before he dived into the end zone. They're going to be first down and goal at the 2-yard line. And man, what a great seal-off block over there. You would think maybe one of the receivers did that. Might have been Jace Thompson over there. But he got a great block down there around the 10-yard line. First down and goal for the Wildcats at the 2, trying to tie it up here. Back to DeCorian Young. Handoff running back Chalk Sims hitting up in there. And touchdown Wildcats. Finally, the guy here on our end here, I was watching the other end, and he was waiting, but got the signal from this end, and the Wildcats score to make it a 21-20 game with the extra point pending here.
And Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op says, way to go Wildcats, as the Cats score on this touchdown, and here comes the extra point.
That's the second touchdown of the night for DeCorian Sims. And Wildcat extra point pending here. Brandon Zavala. The ball is down. The kick on the way. Brandon doing a real good job kicking for the Wildcats. And he put it right through the uprights. 4:53 left in the second quarter. New score here from Gerald Prim Stadium. Wildcats of Sulphur Springs 21. The Forney Jackrabbits 21. Let's take a break and we'll be back in a moment.
4:53 left to go in the first half of play. 21-21 as the Wildcats and Forney are tied. The Cats scoring last, so we'll be kicking the ball to Forney. Well, let me remind you at halftime, the Wildcat marching band. Butch Barney with statistics of the first half of play. And then following our game tonight, high school scoreboard. Stay tuned for scores from around the state as we bring you those scores from every division. We will let you know that Corsicana leads Terrell 14-0. Ennis leads Royce City 3-0. Greenville trailing North Forney 14-7.
And Forney with 3 guys back deep, right around the 5-yard line. Here's Brandon Zavala on the kickoff, and he hammers it down the field, and it's going to be taken at the 4. Here comes the run back for Forney across the 20, across the 25-yard line, and up to about the 26 where the ball will be marked. First down and 10 for Forney. In a 21-21 tie as we're in the final 5 minutes of the second quarter. And this has been a crowd pleaser. Everybody likes offense. Some defensive coordinators not high on the subject.
Well, you like soccer sometimes, but anyway.
Coach Guerra, he's probably not thrilled with that 21 that Forney's put up there.
Sure he's not.
He's trying to whip the troops to keep Forney from scoring more here. They have a quarterback back in the shotgun taking the snap. This is Anderson. Throws the ball down the field. Incomplete. Jace Thompson got a pretty good bump into the Forney intended receiver, which was Colton Donley. But an incomplete pass, second down and 10. No harm, no foul. The ball at the 26-yard line. Forney in their own end of the field, and the clock stopped on the incompletion. 4:43 left here in the second quarter. And again, 21-21. Anderson, the quarterback, takes the snap. He'll throw the ball out to the left. The ball is caught. And across the 30, up around the 35-yard line. And very close to the mark needed for the first down. No, they're going to say he was out of bounds at the 33, and that will be 3 yards short of the first down. Third down and 3 now for Forney at their own 33-yard line. And once again, a very big play for this Wildcat defense. And here is a running play to Donley, and he is going to be stopped short as he was hit at the 34-yard line. I think they were looking for a lot of deception there, hoping that everybody would chase the quarterback. But fourth down and 2, and Forney will be, you would think, will give up the football on a punt. And the Wildcats don't particularly believe it. They don't have any. Now Austin Dodd coming in off the sideline to head back around the 30-yard line. I bet they've seen video of his 80-yard actually 77-yard touchdown punt return. I watched it on Doug's replay and realized not 80, but 77. We actually caught that ball. Here's back to the punter, and he gets the foot into it and kicks toward Dodd, who makes a great catch at around the 25. Now turns and counter punches across the 25. Right. And Dodd fighting off players, and then they escorted him out of bounds. Rather rudely, I might add, but I don't think drew a flag over there.
We got a block in the back.
Well, that'll help. Not really.
Not us.
Yes, I realize who blocks in the back. When you're pursuing a punter, you're not going to do that. You better not. Yeah. But anyway, we'll have to sort all this out. They're standing at the 30-yard line. That must have been the spot of the foul. At one time, Dodd was up. He got back to around the 25.
Block in the back. 24 on Sulphur. It's going to be 10 yards from the end of the run. Still first down.
And inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line. Man alive, how many drives? Wildcats have had at least 3 drives that have started like at the 14, the 16, the 18-yard line. They do have 3:38. They've got plenty of time with their quick strike offense. We're tied at 21. And the Wildcats, though, are 82 yards from pay dirt. Now DeCorian Young. Stepped up toward the line, now backs back into the shotgun. Trip receivers out to the right, single receiver to the left. He's going to hand off a running back bursting through there across the 25 to the 30. A nice running play there. Was that Davis? That was Caden Davis. Boy, Coach Woods noticed him. He said that number 2. Coaches don't know anybody's name. You can ask Coach Owens, and he'll say, what number? What are you talking about?
Silver Springs Dodge Chrysler Jeep, first down.
It went to the 32-yard line. First down and 10 for the Wildcats after the nice run by Davis. Got us out of really deep in our own end. DeCorian Young from the shotgun takes the snap, and he will hand off again. Davis across the 35 to the 40, and Davis across the 45, another first down. The Wildcats offensive line now really beginning to get some nice holes there on those last 2 running plays.
Charging right along, Silver Springs Dodge Chrysler Jeep, first down.
You know, I always knew the serious football fans, they were the one that watched the play in the line.
Yeah.
Not the ball carriers, they were watching the line play. And this is a great game for that, because that, Coach Owens said, was the key to everything. The line against line. It doesn't matter which, offense against defense, both ways. It's going to be a big part of this ball game, a key to the game, he said. The first down and 10 for the Wildcats at the 46. Back to Decorian Young. Handoff running back. Now this play was bottled up pretty well. Gain of 1 on the play. And Davis with a kind of a high tackle that time, but clearly legal, and gains 1. Second down and 9 for the Wildcats at the 47-yard line. And Decorian Young from the shotgun. Halfback back there with him. 2 receivers left and right for the Wildcats. The clock just over 2 minutes to play here in the second quarter, and we're tied 21-21. Decorian from the shotgun takes the snap, fires the ball down the field, caught by the Wildcats down around the 41-yard line. Very nice catch by Payson Edwards, and nice catch by Payson Edwards, and first down and 10 for the Wildcats at the Forney 41-yard line. Clock ticking 1:48 and counting here, as they did stop the clock to move the chains, but they do that so quickly. Those guys must practice that all the time. Back to Decorian Young. He'll hand off Davis, and Davis is going to be hit for a loss on that play. And it'll be second down, and Wildcats will need about 11 for a first down at the 42-yard line now. And the clock at 1:20 and counting. Jimmy peering intently out toward the field. We'll have him comment on that if he gets a chance.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Back to Decorian Young, and he is going to scramble out of there. Decorian running to the sideline, and he is going to run right out of bounds at the 40-yard line. So it'll be third down and 9 for the Wildcats at the 40-yard line. The clock stops at 1:02. And again, Wildcats need a big play here. Is 1:02 left here in the second quarter. We're tied 21-21, and this is a third down and 9 for the Wildcats. Ball at the 40-yard line. As another player that caught, and it catches every coach's eye. Coach Aaron Woods, he said, man, we got to stop that quarterback. That's the first thing the coach says to me every week as the opposing coach. Man in motion for the Wildcats. Back to Decorian Young. Players are pouring in. Tried a screen play, a screen pass, but the ball was bounced into Davis. So it'll be fourth down and 9 for the Wildcats. 57 seconds remaining. And let's see if the Wildcats try a gadget or something here, or what they may have in mind as they've got 4th and 9. You know, they were so good against in one of the games where they scored 2 touchdowns on 4th down plays. One of them on 4th and 25. He's got a 26-yard play for the score. And then Jermon Bryant Amos on the big boy package ran right up the middle. So here's 4th down and 9, and now let's see, we're going to have a timeout taken with 57 seconds left in the second quarter. Wildcats 21, Forney 21. We'll take the break with them, and we'll be back in a moment.
57 seconds left to go in this first half of play. 21-21 our score.
And Decorian Young back in the shotgun here on 4th down and 9. The ball at the 40-yard line. Got Colton Allen just to his left. There's a snap back, and he will fake to Colton. Throws the ball down the middle. Caught Austin Dodd. First down for the Wildcats at the 28-yard line. And Dodd appears to be shaken up a little bit, so they'll have to make sure he's okay. As sure we're going to have timeout for an injured Wildcat here. 51 seconds left. First down and 10 for the Wildcats. And let's take a break here. Wildcats 21, Forney 21, and we'll be back in a moment.
And 51 seconds left to go in the first half of play. Dodd now sitting up, and hopefully he'll be coming off the field here pretty quickly. They're talking with him. And
yeah, Tammy Carroll is on the case down there.
I think he had the breath knocked out of him, like you said. He picked up that Silver Springs Dodge Chrysler Jeep first down, and now he's making his way off the field.
You wonder if it could even be something that's a hot night. We mentioned that. Could be some cramping going on.
Could be.
Just hard to say. He was really hit hard on the tackle, but hung on to the football. And first down and 10 for the Wildcats at the Forney 28-yard line. 50 seconds left here in the second quarter as the Wildcats on the move now, as they got a new fresh set of downs after the first down. Corian Young takes the snap, back in the pocket, looking. He will fire the pass. He's got Landry Tyson, and Tyson catches it. Touchdown, Wildcats. Landry Tyson, a 28-yard touchdown catch, and you could just see Landry anticipating that football and just kind of welcoming it in there, making the catch. Then got hit down there and knocked out of bounds. Touchdown, Wildcats. A 28-yard touchdown pass.
And Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op says, way to go, Wildcats. Here's the extra point try.
And once again, Brandon Zavala for the fourth time here in the first two quarters, trying to tack on the extra point. The snap, a good one. It's back. Here's a kick by Zavala, and the kick is good. 32 seconds, all that's left here in the second quarter. New score here from Gerald Friends Stadium, and a wild one. The Wildcats of Sulphur Springs 28 and the Forney Jackrabbits 21. Let's take a break here, and we'll be back in a moment.
31 seconds left to go in the first half. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., the Coaches Show. Don Julian will be talking to Coach Owens and talking about tonight's game, looking toward the next game. We encourage you to tune in on Channel 18 and KSST for the Coaches Show. 21 for Forney, 28 for the Wildcats as the Wildcats get ready to kick the ball to Forney.
And that means Brandon Zavala has it teed up on the far hash, right at the 40-yard line. I imagine we'll see maybe a worm burner if it was traditional grass. There better not be any worms in that artificial turf. There's nothing but ground up tire parts, I think. Here's a kick by Brandon Zavala down around the 20. It's a return from the 22, and the Wildcats do a pretty good job of containing that return up to around the 32-yard line, where Forney will have first and 10. They've got 29 seconds, and they've shown the ability to strike pretty quickly. So this is not some kind of ground chuck offense. I don't know where I got that impression. I knew that Stevens was a really good running back, but I had no idea they threw the ball so well, and I was kind of talking about them like they couldn't throw, like we had seen from Carroll and even Royce City. And lo and behold, they've had as many yards this year throwing as they do rushing. And Anderson is not, he's a baseball player too, and Coach said he needed to kind of teach him to throw more football style, as they're going to take the knee and just live to fight in the second half. So that's going to be the last play, as they don't even have to snap the ball anymore, and the teams will be heading off the field. So we're in another 15 seconds, we will have hit halftime here. But what a engaging first half of football. I hope Butch, he took a week off, and so I hope he's being able to keep up here, as he's going to burn up his equipment trying to add everything up for when Jimmy talks to him about this wild first half. The Wildcats leading Forney by the score of 28-21, and I can't wait for the second half, but I guess I will wait a few minutes.
You'll be waiting about 28 minutes for the first for the next half. And welcome to halftime here at Gerald Prim Stadium, and with me, Butch Burney, as we talk about the first half of play tonight. And we were just laughing about some of the children you may have been hearing may have been related to Butch. We're not sure.
Could very well be my granddaughter.
They were looking up and waving at us as we stood up to start this. And Doug's going to be changing in the location of the microphone, so maybe we'll take care of that. That's why we've got the crowd noise off right now. But as we come into this first half of play, Butch, this has been an exciting ball game and a little more than I really thought it would be.
Yeah, I think Forney's probably a little bit more potent on offense than a lot of us believe they would, especially the way the Sulphur Springs defense has played, up to this point in the season. So
right.
It's been a little bit more, a little bit closer game probably than what we thought, a little bit more high scoring maybe than what we thought. And right. I think when we look at the statistics, we'll see that. Statistically, Sulphur Springs has about 300 yards of total offense right now. They've got 112 yards rushing. The leading rusher is Caden Davis. He's got 5 carries for 35 yards. Colton Allen has 4 carries for 30 yards. Austin Dodd has 1 carry for 35 yards. DeCorian Sims has 2 carries for 17 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then DeCorian Young has -5 yards on 5 carries. That's mostly been because of the 2 fumbles that he's had to recover that go down as rushing yards. Passing-wise, Silver Springs has really been efficient and also hitting the big plays in the passing game. DeCorian Young's 12 of 15 for 179 yards. So 179 yards passing, 112 yards rushing. So about 300 yards. Right. His top target has been Austin Dodd. He's already caught 5 passes for 95 yards. Landry Tyson has caught 4 passes for 63 yards. Both of them have a touchdown each. Jace Thompson has 1 catch for 8 yards. DeCorian Sims has 1 catch for 1 yard. And Payson Edwards has 1 catch for 12 yards. Right now, Silver Springs has 15 first downs. They've punted the ball twice. One of them a 63-yard punt by Jamon Brian Amos. And they've had 3 penalties for a total of 25 yards. When we look at Forney, Forney has been led by Stevens. He's already got 119 yards on 9 carries. They have 151 yards rushing on 17 carries. And they've been pretty efficient in the passing game too. Anderson is 7 of 10 for 89 yards. So when you add all that together, they've got about 240 yards of total offense. Silver Springs has 301 yards of total offense. So, and I think that's kind of what we've seen on the scoreboard is Silver Springs a little bit more total offense and ahead by a touchdown on the scoreboard as well.
Yeah. That's almost 300 yards in this first half. That's pretty productive. Yeah,
and I think one of the things that I've noticed for the Wildcats passing-wise has been, as we said, efficiency. DeCorian Young's only missed on 3 passes out of 15 attempts, but then he's got a 57-yard pass completion for a touchdown. He's got a 28-yard pass completion for a touchdown. He's got another 20-yard completion, a 17-yard completion. So it's not just throwing short passes and completing them. They've been going down the field, hitting big plays, hitting intermediate passes. The one that Austin Dodd caught down here, 4th down and 9, you pick up 12 yards. Payson Edwards had a big catch across the middle, and still catching the ball across the middle is still tough. It doesn't matter whether or not players can launch and use their helmet and all that sort of stuff. You're still running into traffic, and we saw that when Austin Dodd caught that 12-yard pass. As soon as he caught it, he got hit. But he still hung on to it, and that's one of the good things this year. And don't want to, we'll knock on wood here and don't want to jinx anybody, but we haven't talked about drop passes for Silver Springs this year. I mean, those receivers are really holding on to the ball. DeCorian Sims making some good plays, and man, is he athletic. I mean, he's made a couple athletic plays that just have saved the Wildcats this first half.
Yeah, you're exactly right. This has been some kind of ball game so far. Defensively, even though there's a number of yards in this game, 500 total or thereabout, both teams defensively have played fairly well.
Yeah, I think Silver Springs has come up early in the game, came up with some plays. Later in the second half, came up with some plays. In the middle, Forney got going, and once an offense gets rolling, sometimes the defense can't ever get off their heels. They get on their heels, and they just can't ever catch their breath and figure out what the changes they need to make until they get off the field. And by then, it's they're getting up a touchdown. But I think Silver Springs. I think looking at it, probably the first thing they're going to want to do, you got to stop the run. I mean, that's Forney is throwing the ball well, but still their offense is based on the run, and that's one thing you want to stop. And they've been good with just a straight handoff. It looks like they've run some zone reads. They've run the Wildcat a few times. They've kind of mixed things up, and I think that may have caught Silver Springs off guard a little bit in the first half. But we saw later, after they'd had a chance to make some adjustments, come up and make a defensive stand there.
Yeah, well, you're exactly right. And really and truly, Forney did get some things rolling right, and were mixing their plays really well during that period of time.
Yeah, and Stevens runs the ball really hard. I mean, he's as Don said. I mean, he's a north and south runner. He's a one-cut runner. He makes one cut and then he's going straight ahead, and he's got some speed and he's got some physicality to him.
Right.
And then Anderson has thrown the ball well. I mean, he's been on target with his passes, and so sometimes that's a good mixture for him right now.
That's it. If you can run and throw the ball too, and you can mix it up.
And they've got some good receivers. Number 28 McMurrin has caught a couple of passes, and the number 5 has caught. I mean, they've been able to throw the ball to some different receivers where you can't just zero in on one. And I think Jimmy, that's what they've done in the running game.
Right.
Stevens is their bell cow. He's the one that they're going to give it to, but then they bring in the Wildcat package and run out of that. And we've seen Anderson do his own read and run out of it.
Right.
So you just can't zero in on Stevens. You've got to try to contain the whole offense.
Yeah. We talked about DeCorian Young a little bit ago, the play that he made down here on the south end where he started out one direction, wound up having to turn and then threw kind of across the body, to a receiver and picked up, some great yardage out of that. Then you look, though, at the time when he was down here in the end zone and about to be smothered, and he was able to get out of the pocket far enough out that he could throw the ball toward open space that, might have had a shirt nearby and get that in. There's some great thought process going through here.
Yeah, because right before that last play you were talking about, Silver Springs had that fumble, and he jumped on the fumble somehow with 3 other Forney players.
There,
and he was able to recover that fumble at the 5-yard line. If he doesn't do that, Forney almost certainly gets some points out of that. With their kicker, at least they're going to get a field goal. And then it looked like he's going to be sacked for safety, and he's able to get out of it and at least get rid of the ball so he doesn't give up the safety. And then the play where he was 18, 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage, circled around. And I'll tell you, I've talked a lot about Austin Dodd and so far this halftime, but I was watching him, and whenever DeCorian turned and started back up the field and was able to square his shoulders, Austin Dodd came back to the ball. And I mean, there was a defensive back that if Austin hadn't cut in front of him,
he
may have been able to make a play on it. And that was just a great quarterback receiver combination to complete that pass.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And the thing that we look at here is this athletic ability of some of these kids. Austin Dodd has been in the conversation for player of the game in every game we've talked about this season.
Right.
And and then Jamon Amos, that young man is really putting a foot into the ball and doing a great job sending the ball down.
Yeah, and we've seen him on offense, make catches, make blocks, all that sort of thing. We've seen Landry Tyson make some really nice plays offensively and defensively.
Right.
Yeah, and I like the mixture Silver Springs has. In the past, you may not have seen some of the same guys on offense and defense, and I think they've got a good mixture where guys will play a series or two on defense, even though they play on offense. But whenever you've got your best players and they can make a difference on both sides of the ball, I like that Silver Springs gives them that chance to make a difference on the other side of the ball.
Well, and you just really have to. There comes a time when you just have to do that when your numbers have some limit to them, but yet you've got guys who have such talent. Great hands and great ability, and we talk about the ones who run with the ball, the ones who make the tackles, but the kids in the line have done an excellent job this season. They've really done their yeoman's work.
Yeah, anytime you look down and you see 300 yards total offense in one half, you're right. We always give the stats on the receivers and the quarterback and the running backs, but you don't get 300 yards with a bad offensive line. No. They're making the holes and they're protecting the quarterback. And we've talked about DeCorian Young making some nice scrambles, but that's going to happen every now and then. You're not going to be you're not going to have a perfect wall every pass play.
Right.
But they have done an excellent job, and I think even maybe more so in the 112 yards rushing, because Silver Springs doesn't have, a stud workhorse in the backfield. They've got some good runners. Colton Allen and Davis and Sims are a good 1-2-3 punch. Mm-hmm. But I think they depend on that offensive line to give them a crease, and then those guys hit it hard. And that's all. That's what you want out of your running backs. Hit that crease hard and get all you can get. And those guys are doing a good job of that.
Let's talk a little bit about some scores from around the area. As far as the district is concerned, Kaufman is off tonight, so they're not playing, and they've been really a threat in every game they've been in, doing quite well this season.
Yeah, I think Kaufman and Corsicana right now, I think those are the two that you look at and say, those may be, and talking about teams that aren't Sulphur Springs, but out of the other 8 teams in the district, I think those two are probably the two teams you say, we've got to play our best against those two to beat them.
And you mentioned Corsicana; they are leading Terrell 21-0 at Terrell right now at half.
Yeah, and we've seen Terrell, and we've heard about Corsicana, so that's not a surprise.
Yeah, and then North Forney, they're leading Greenville right now 35-14. That one started out with Greenville in the lead, but now North Forney's really coming back.
Yeah, North Forney's one of those, I don't want to say Jekyll and Hyde teams, but they're kind of hard to figure out how they're going to be from one week to the next.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And then Royce City and Ennis. Ennis is leading Royce City 6-0 at the half.
Yeah, Ennis, they've got new. I guess they're trying to do something new on offense this year, and I don't know that they have been able to get enough practice time in to perfect that yet.
Right. Yeah. And when you start out with 8 teams in your district, you don't have a whole lot of time for practice.
That's right. That's right. And Ennis normally has really good athletes, and so you figure if once they figure out their offensive plan, they're probably going to be a lot better than what they're playing right now.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, our score here, 28 for the Wildcats, 21 for Forney as we get into the second half of play. What are you anticipating in the second half? Well,
I think Sulphur Springs is probably right now making adjustments defensively. And I think the adjustments are probably going to be we need to stop the run first. Not saying Forney can't throw the ball. We've seen that they can throw the ball.
Right.
But a team that can successfully run the ball just wears the defense down. So I think, Sulphur Springs can stop the run and make Forney throw it more. I think that would be the best plan for Sulphur Springs.
Right.
Now, Forney may come out, their quarterback may come out and throw for 300 yards in the second half. I don't know. But I do know that a team that can run the ball successfully wears down the defense.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Our temperature on the field has fallen to about 78 degrees, so it's still pretty warm out there for an October football game.
And humid.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Humid, yeah,
not much wind blowing out there, and so that makes a difference.
Yeah, we haven't seen a whole lot of cramping or anything, but that is, that could be a concern in the second half the way the temperature and the humidity is.
Yeah, and Forney's band going long here, so we'll stay with this. It is important for us once again to note Sulphur Springs 28, Forney 21 at the half.
And Forney's going to receive the second half kickoff.
Right.
So I think that's probably one of the reasons they took a knee there at the end of the first half. Not only did they not have great field position, I think it was the 32-yard line. They only had one timeout, 30 seconds or so to go.
Right.
They're going to get the ball second half, and I think at that point the chances of something happening bad are far greater than the chance of you being able to score a touchdown in that scenario.
You're exactly right, and your granddaughter's down there wanting you to watch the band and quit talking. But as we come back, obviously the Wildcat offense wants to keep doing what they've been doing. Defense making that adjustment that's going to be necessary with this team. We'll see how all that goes. It's going to be an interesting half.
Yeah, and both teams have good kickers. When you look at the score and you think, an extra point, a field goal, something like that, the way the first half has gone, something like that could be the difference in the game. We've always talked about, of course, turnovers could be a difference in a game, in a close game like this. Penalties, and we've seen a few penalties. Sulphur Springs only had 3 penalties called on them in the first half. I think Forney had 4, but both teams only had like 25 yards in penalties. So neither team hurt by penalties. neither team, we haven't seen a turnover yet.
Right.
And so either one of those things could tilt the game in one direction or the other.
Yeah, you just never know what's going to happen when you go into any half of football, especially going into this second half. And now the Forney band making their way off the field, giving Sulphur Springs about 10 minutes to do their 15-minute program. So we'll see how all of that goes. It is the halftime. Galleon Insurance, Sulphur Springs Floral City, Century 21, Hometown Realty, and Discount Wheel and Tire sponsor a halftime here on KSST. We're going to take a break, and then we'll be back with the sounds of the Wildcat Marching Band and, of course, the pageantry of the Blue Blazes. Butch, thanks again for being with us at halftime.
Thank
Look
you.
forward to reading what you're going to write about this game. You can see that on KSSTradio.com. We'll be right back.
And now, Sulphur Springs High School proudly presents the 57th line of the Blue Blazes as they strike up the band. Sergeants for this year are seniors Taylor Jones and Melina Rivera. Juniors, Cindy Allen, Monica May, and Olivia Walker. Officers for this year are Lieutenant Allie Thurman, Lieutenant Maddie Thurman, Senior Lieutenant Taylor Arneson, Lieutenant Allie Owens, Co-Captain Michaela Rogers, and the Captain Jada Smitherman. The Blazes would like to recognize this week's Spirit Girl, Maddie Clark. The Blazes would also like to recognize their Blaze of the Week, Abby Thurwanger. Tonight, the Blazes perform their high kick routine to September. Ladies and gentlemen, your Sulphur Springs High School Blue Blazers. The Blazers are under the direction of Kristen McCullough and Kenny McGraw. And now, as they take the field, we'd like to wish a very special good luck to our halftime partners, the Wildcat Marching Band, as they begin their 2018 contest season tomorrow in Sunnyvale. Go band! Ladies and gentlemen, here they come. Man, oh man, that Wildcat Band. The band is being led onto the field by senior drum majors, Braden Fisher and Peyton Ball. Tonight, the Wildcat Band is proud to present its 2018 UIL contest show titled The Grid. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sulphur Springs High School Wildcat Band. Springs High School Wildcat Band. Directors for the band are Spencer Emmert, Elizabeth Bolecki, Jeff Garza, Ryan Patel, Lee Hazel, Steve Proctor, and Alma Ramirez. Join the Wildcat Band tomorrow as they travel for competition to the Sunnyvale Marching Invitational at Sunnyvale High School. Freelands performance time set at 4:15 p.m.
And we get ready for the second half of play here at Primm Stadium. 28 for Sulphur Springs, 21 for Forney, and the Wildcats are going to be kicking to Forney. Forney won the toss at the beginning of the game, deferred. Wildcats received, and now the Wildcats playing defense on the south side, and Forney guarding the north goal. And we're getting ready for the kickoff. Don Julian doing your play-by-play. Doug Haston videoing this for replay on Channel 18. I'm Jim Rogers, and here is the J. Hodge Chevrolet on Wildcat Way kickoff.
And thank goodness it wasn't an onside kick, so we didn't get surprised by it. There's a short kick, and the Wildcats recovered. As we were talking about it, Forney kind of went lazily after the ball, and the Wildcats kicked into an open space and fell on the football.
Well, you want that first few plays of the third quarter to go your way, and that one certainly did for the Wildcats.
Boy, that you talk about negating a coin flip.
Yep.
And boy, look at Landry Tyson. He's ready to run a pattern right now. He's ready to snap the football, but the ball is at the 34-yard line in Forney territory. The Wildcats recover the short kick.
The Wildcats are having to wait. They were one player short, and that's why they're not going now.
And who is the one player that you couldn't play without?
Yeah, your center.
Center.
They had to call timeout because they didn't get enough players on the field even then.
I can't help but think that he wasn't thinking that he was going to have a few minutes to do whatever maybe needed to be done, but didn't work that way. Timeout taken. 11:59 left here in the third quarter. Wildcats 28, Forney 21. Let's try to squeeze in the break here. Back in a moment.
Well, 1 second off the clock. Wildcats have the ball, and here we go.
And their tempo, they're still rushing out there. They're trying to snap that ball as quickly as they can. DeCorian Young back in. They must have had a talk at halftime about tempo. DeCorian Young takes the snap. He throws a pass. It's caught. Austin Dodd across the 35. Dodd across the 30 and powering down the field and then knocked back and off his feet at about the 28-yard line. That's going to be 4 yards short of the first down for the Wildcats. A gain of 6, second down and 4 from the Forney 28-yard line. And the Wildcats again trying to pick up the pace here. DeCorian Young has Caden Davis right next to him, and Davis now has the handoff. Davis across the 25, picked up the first down and had his feet knocked out from under him at the 22-yard line. First down and 10 for the Wildcats on the Forney 22-yard line.
That Sulphur Springs Dodge Chrysler Jeep was almost more than just first down.
You know, that might be a good defensive play of the game, that kick to start the third quarter. Here's a handoff or fake, and now DeCorian Young keeping around the right side, and he goes into the end zone for a touchdown. That's a 22-yard touchdown run by DeCorian Young, and I was as faked out as everybody, thinking that Davis had gotten the ball, and he kept the ball around the right side and just kind of sprinted into the end zone. A very nice play by a great Wildcat playmaker, DeCorian Young.
And Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op says, way to go, Wildcats. Here's the kick.
And once again, Brandon Zavala to kick. Jace Thompson a high snap, but he gets it down. That's what those holders have to do, and the kick is good. So give a great assist there to Jace Thompson for pulling that high snap down. And the kick is good, so we have a new score here real quickly here in the early seconds of the third quarter. 11:28 still to play in the third quarter. Wildcats 35 and Forney 21. And let's take a break here, and we'll be back in a moment.
11:28 to go in the third quarter. 35 for the Wildcats, 21 for Forney, and the Cats will be kicking the ball again in less than a minute. And I just am curious if maybe they won't try again.
You know, Jimmy, I had the exact same thought. I thought that worked so well.
Works
Let's
so well.
do it again.
Why not? Other side of the field this time. Let's do it here.
Brandon Zavala from the far hash mark and approaches, and this time he will kick it deep. And it's going to be taken by Forney at the 5-yard line. Here comes the return across the 15, across the 20, and the Wildcats greeting committee at about the 25-yard line. It'll be marked at the 26. So Forney first down and 10 at their own 26-yard line. But the Wildcats, I bet Forney is still stunned. They can't believe what happened to 28-21. They'll look up and it's 35-21.
What are we waiting to see what they're looking at here? Referees are kind of conferring. I don't know. I guess they're just trying to get the ball.
47 to the kicking team. We're going to add 5 yards from the end of the run. First down.
All right, offsides on the Wildcats, and they're going to add that 5-yard zone from the.
You know, that speeds up the game. I can understand doing that because otherwise you would re-kick from 5 yards deeper and all that kind of stuff. But here Forney is now gains 5 yards, first down and 10 from their own 31-yard line. Back to Anderson, a blitz, and he's hit as he throws, but he gets it out to Stevens across the 35, across the 40, gets a block down the 50, and the Wildcats finally chase him out of bounds. He's continuing to run, and he's going to go all the way down to around the 1-yard line, but I thought, sure, well, there's a flag down.
Yes, there was a block in the back here.
Coach Guerrera was helping the officials, I'm sure, say, hey, bring that thing back. But I thought he went out of bounds, but he ran all the way down inside to about the 2-yard line, but it will come back. The flag is at the 43-yard line, which was just about the point. Now, I guess he made the catch, and it looked like a freeing block, but it was unfortunately legal.
Block in the back. Forney. It's going to be a 10-yard penalty from the flag. Still first down.
And it's actually a short gain after all of that, up to the 33-yard line. That's a gain of 2. So it's going to be first down and 8 for Forney at their own 33-yard line. How's that for craziness?
No kidding.
And instead of defending their own goal line, the Wildcats have them down back again at the 33. Kind of a high snap, handoff Stevens again. And no, that's not Stevens.
The other
That's Donnelly, the running back. And up to the 37-yard line. So it'll be second down now and just 4 yards needed for the first for the Jackrabbits in their own end of the field. 10:33 left here in the third quarter. Wildcats leading 35-21. Back to Anderson. He throws down the field. It's caught by McMurrin again, and he's heading toward the goal line, the 30, and he's going to go all the way into the end zone for a 63-yard touchdown pass. My goodness. And that is going to be the third touchdown pass to Riley McMurrin.
And he was open, and he has great speed. That young man just took that one to the house.
And he's quite tall. I wish these programs would indicate height, but he is a tall-looking player. He'd be right home on the basketball court, I would think. Extra point now for Forney. It's a high snap. The kick is down. The kick is on the way, but we have a flag a whistle was blowing.
Illegal procedure, they're saying.
So that'll cost Forney 5.
Got false start. 4-40. 5-yard penalty. Replay the try.
So the offensive explosion continuing here, but Forney with a 67-yard touchdown play, and the Wildcats with a 22-yard touchdown play with a much shorter field to go after that really surprising kickoff. Ball now down at the 15, so this will be like a 25-yard field goal for Huffman, and the kick on the way. And that kick is still good. 10:15 left here in the third quarter. New score here from Gerald Prim Stadium as they just keep dialing it up here tonight. Wildcats of Sulphur Springs 35 and the Forney Jackrabbits 28. So we'll take a break here and we'll be back in a moment.
Wildcats lead 35-28, 10:15 to go in the third quarter.
Wow, this is going to take a while to play this one. 1:45 is all we burned off the clock. 2 touchdowns scored. Here's a short kick taken by the Wildcats at the 10, across the 15, across the 20 on the return, the 25 to the 30. Nice run, Colton Allen, and he's all the way up across the 35 to the 37-yard line. Nice kickoff return by Colton Allen, giving the Wildcats some good field position where maybe they can score some points. I vote for that. You know, the way this game's going, you better score early and often.
That's it. That's it.
The Wildcats first down and 10 from their own 37. And DeCorian Young, 2 receivers out left, 1 to the right, and he will try a running play. And running back only about a yard. That thing was kind of jammed up in there. As, that was Chalk Sims.
Yeah, tries the appropriate word there. Forney was all over that one.
Second down and 9, a 1-yard gain for Chalk. Got in great shape during the Edge this summer. They were really bragging on him. Back to DeCorian Young. He's back in the pocket. He's looking. Now he fires down the field. Caught by Jermon Bryant Amos. He has the first down. He's across the 50, across the 45, and dragged down right at the 45-yard line. So first down and 10 for the Wildcats. A great target there.
And
once again, quick tempo and a handoff running play, and Chalk Sims is going to be dropped for a yard loss on this one back to the 46-yard line. I hate that fast tempo when play unfolds like that.
Flag out there.
Illegal substitution. 12 men on the field. Forney. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
The old 12-man defense.
Well, that Silver Springs Dodge Chrysler Jeep first down that didn't look like it was going to pay off does now as they take the extra man off the field.
All the way up to his first down and 5 now. The ball at the Forney 40-yard line for the Wildcats after the penalty for the 12th man. Great thing at A&M, not on the football field. And DeCorian Young back to pass, got all kinds of time to throw, and now fires the ball down the field. Incomplete, through for Jermon Bryant Amos again. And that's not a bad bet if you can kind of throw a jump ball, because not many players are going to out-rebound that 6'5" fella.
No kidding.
But he kind of got in the way enough that nobody could pick that one off. That was almost a scary-looking throw there. Second down and 5 now from the 40-yard line. Both of these teams doing a real good job of protecting the football tonight. No turnovers. Hope that doesn't jinx somebody. And DeCorian Young back in the shotgun on 2nd and 5. And here's a running play. Colton Allen, and he has the first down as he crosses the 35 to the 30. Well, just right across the 35-yard line by maybe a foot or so, and that should be enough to move the chains.
Got a Forney player down.
And we do have an injured player. 8:55 left here in the third quarter. Wildcats 35, Forney 28. Let's take a break. Back in a moment.
And that Silver Springs Dodge Chrysler Jeep first down is continuing to pay off for the Wildcats.
Significant player just walked off the field injured for Forney. He'll have to sit out at least one play. That was Will Morgan. He's a real good defensive end for Forney, so they're having to play without him for this down on 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. Back to DeCorian Young. Here's a handoff. Colton Allen across the 30, the 25. Allen across the 20, then dragged down and at about the 18-yard line. First down and 10. Nice run for Colton Allen.
8:35 left to go in the third quarter. 35 for the Cats, 28 for Forney. A Silver Springs Dodge Chrysler Jeep first down.
Boy, Matt Young, I'll take him to Vegas tonight. He seems to be hitting on a lot of calls as the Wildcats marching down the field smartly tonight. Here's a fake and a flanker around to Dodd across the 20 to the 15, Dodd to the 10, Dodd to the 5-yard line, and he's cut down just short of the end zone, down around the 3-yard line.
Yeah, great run by Dodd. He did, that kind of shook him up a little bit the way they brought him down.
Yeah, he's had a tough night, and with the physical ailments, he's going to be finding the body ache medication later tonight, as he coming off pretty much on his own power, but he does have a little hitch in the get along. Wildcats first down and goal now from the 2-yard line. DeCorian Young from the shotgun will take the snap, and he will hand off. This is Colton Allen, and no, he did it again to me. He faked to Colton Allen because I saw Colton quit running, and he got to the end zone. Another touchdown for DeCorian Young on a fake to the running back and keeping around the right side, a 2-yard, or let's call it a 3-yard touchdown run for DeCorian Young, and the Wildcats dial it up to 41-28.
Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op says, way to go Wildcats, because either one of those could have scored.
Yeah, could we get a couple of touchdowns maybe?
Really?
They both ended
Count
up
that
there.
Twice.
Only one football, though. Snap is good on the extra point. The kick by Brandon Zavala, and the kick is good. So 7:47 left in the third quarter as we're just plowing along here so rapidly. And with 7:47 left in the third quarter, Wildcats 42 and Forney 28. We'll take a break, back in a moment.
7:47 left to go here in the third quarter. 42 for the Wildcats, 28 for Forney, and we've just been scoring almost every possession here in this quarter. But we'll see what happens as the Wildcats come out to send the ball down to Forney.
Ain't no almost to it.
Yeah.
We have both teams have seen the ball 3 times, 3 touchdowns. The good thing is the Wildcats have seen it twice.
Yes.
So they lead 14-7 in this binge scoring going on in the third quarter. Brandon Zavala to kick off the ball to the 40-yard line on the far hash mark, and he will boot it deep again, and this one is going to be taken. It's a run back man across the 20 to the 25, and then the Wildcats gang up on that player at about the 28-yard line. That return was made that time by Peyton Johnson, one of their real good wide receivers and kind of one of their fast guys. And so that's where Forney will start now, as they will have the ball at the 28-yard line. And my advice to them would be throw it to that tall guy, number 28. He's caught 3 touchdown passes tonight.
Yeah, just don't let him get open. That's the big problem.
So from the 28, first down and 10 for the Jackrabbits, and they will hand off, and it'll be Stevens, and Stevens ahead for about 3 on the play. Second down and 7 at the 31-yard line. That looked a little bit better as far in the containment department for that Wildcat defense.
Yeah, that was a swarming tackle too. There were several Wildcats in on that one.
Second down, 8.
And here come the Jackrabbits from their own 31-yard line. Second down and 7. A naked backfield now for Anderson. He'll throw the ball down the field. It's caught by a big fella down there, and he's struggling to try to get some yardage. They're going to mark him down at the 36. It's going to be 2 yards short of the first down after that catch.
That's your number 10.
That's Will Morgan, and he's the player that we talked about had to leave the field because he had got shaken up on defense, but he's also a wide receiver. Third down and 2 now from the 36-yard line. It looked like a flinch in the offensive line, but no call. Here's Stevens on the run around the left side. He'll pick up the first down as he gets up around the 39-yard line. It's funny, one end of the chain gang, he's ready to rip, and the other guy has not moved.
Yeah, I think he learned his lesson last time.
Yeah, he's still pulling on that other guy. Say, come on now. And a first down and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. Not the Yellow Jackets. How about the Jackrabbits? We got to be playing Denison tonight, I guess. Here's first down and 10, Forney at their own 39. And here's Anderson throwing a pass. It is caught. Player is tackled at the 46-yard line in Wildcats territory. That was complete again to Peyton Johnson, young man that returned the kickoff a while ago. And now we see a little quick pace here out of the Forney Jackrabbits. And back to Anderson. He'll hand off Stevens, and Stevens is going to lose yardage on that play, if not, or maybe just perhaps no gain. And so second down and 10 for Forney at the 47-yard line in Wildcats territory. We have 5:40 left in the third quarter. The Wildcats up 42-28. Keep in mind, Forney, a great team in the fourth quarter. So we got to get a big lead on these guys. Here's Anderson's pass. He throws. It is caught, and the Wildcats do a good job of throwing that man out of bounds. He did not like being thrown out of bounds, and he came back at one of the defensive players, and Coach Guerrero says, get away from that guy. Just don't, if he wants to do that, let him pick up the penalty. That was Braden Benjamin that did not like to be rudely thrown out of bounds, and after that he gained only 1 yard anyway. So it's 3rd down and 9. The ball at the Wildcats 46-yard line. This is a big play for Wildcats defense that's really trying to make a stop here for this wide open, wild Forney offense. Anderson back to pass. He fires the ball. It is caught well short of the first down. Looked like he hit that big, tall fella again, Will Morgan. And this time Morgan drew a lot of attention, and they tackled him at the 40-yard line. That's 3 yards short of the first down, but Forney being down by 14 with 5:02 left in the 3rd quarter, they're going to roll the dice here and try to keep it going here. They do not want to get the ball back to that Wildcats offense. This is the night you'd want an onside kick all night long. I don't want to ever give it back to that guy's offense. Big play here, 4th down and 3. On the Wildcats 40, and the Wildcats are celebrating because a Forney guy moved a little early, and the flags flew from about 4 different officials.
Penalty, still 4th down.
So they all passed the visual test. Those flags were flying. Just came from every direction, and now it's 4th down and 7, and Forney says, well, that maybe changes things.
Yeah, a little further back.
So now Colby Ortega is back in punt formation. We'll see if he does the ball at the 45-yard line. And he will kick it, and he boots it down the field. The Wildcats don't have anybody back deep. Looked like it may have hit a Wildcat player that was trying to block down the field, but it went out of bounds at the same time down at the 16-yard line. So Jimmy was talking about the importance of kicking that ball inside the 20, and not a particularly long kick that time, like 29 yards, but it's out of bounds at the 16-yard line. That's inside the 20, and that'll get a gold star from the coaching staff.
Yeah, it will. That gives you a little better chance.
So once again, we've talked about at least 3 or 4 drives tonight. The Wildcats inside the 20 to start the drive, and they're doing it this time from the 16. Corian Young takes the snap, fakes to the running back, looking down the field. Now he's going to scramble out of the pocket. He stops and fires the ball down the field. Caught by Austin Dodd way up at the 45-yard line. And now look at Dodd. He looks like
he's feeling
spring
better.
Chicken. He does feel good.
Silver Springs Dodge Chrysler Jeep, 1st down. Here we go.
1st down and 10 from the 44-yard line. Here's a handoff, running back sweeping to the left. This is Caden Davis, and Davis will gain a couple of yards across the 45 to the 46. And once again, a Forney player is down on the artificial turf here at Gerald Prim Stadium. 4:06 left in the 3rd quarter. Wildcats 42, Forney 28. Injured player timeout. We'll take it with them. Back in a moment.
4 minutes, 6 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. 42-28. The Wildcats are leading Forney, and the Forney player is now up and will be making his way off the field. I think he had a real severe leg cramp is the biggest issue, maybe both legs cramping.
That was Gavin West was the player for Forney. Do I get a gander of him? See, I don't remember. Yes, okay, he was an outside linebacker. Actually, the way they're configured, they show looks like 5 different linebackers, just like 3 D linemen, 5 linebackers, and then 2 cornerbacks and 1 free safety. That's the way their defensive alignment looks, according to the information we got from Matt Young. Wildcats back in the shotgun to Corian Young. 2nd down and 8, and here's a running play, Caden Davis, and Davis will run it down to the 49-yard line. They kind of picked up on the Butch Burney playbook at halftime, which maybe suggested some more running plays, and I'm sure they would like to shorten the game a little bit. This pinball kind of offense, it's kind of fun, but the other teams can score rapidly that way. Wildcats trying to hold on for a while. 3rd down now and 5 yards needed from the 49 in Wildcats territory. To Corian Young, he throws a pass. It's caught by Davis. Davis breaks 1 tackle. He crossed the 50 and got wrapped up at the 48-yard line. That's going to be 2 yards short of the first down. It's going to be 4th down and 2 from the 48. And Wildcats punt formation. We see Jermon Bryant Amos coming out there. I don't know if they've worked on some kind of exotic fake with him. You know, he does run that with the jumbo package or whatever you want to call it. They called it the Bulls. Colby Suggs was there. They called it Tebow, a popular quarterback at the time. But Jermon Bryant Amos back to punt. And he gets a good snap. He rugbies to the right and hits a booming punt that's going to hit 1 yard deep in the end zone and just die right there in the end zone. So pretty easy pickings there for Jermon Bryant Amos that time with a 48-yard punt all the way into the end zone.
Great height on that kick, too. He had plenty of hang time with that thing.
Seemed like at one time your punting average would be deducted 20 yards for when it comes out. So that would, because that's the net effect of that, is a 28-yard kick, basically. But it looks what a boomer.
Yeah.
And he can do that. He's a wonderful punter.
Here's Wildcat defense. Let's see what they do.
Here we go. Forney from the 20-yard line now. Anderson, the quarterback, takes the snap. Hands off Stevens, sweeping to the left. And Stevens, heavy resistance from the Wildcats and that right side of the Wildcat defense. A gain of only 2 on the play up to the 22-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 8 for Forney. And I'm just about to fall asleep. This game kind of lulling into 2 or 3 plays without a touchdown. Can't hardly sustain my interest here, but
we'll order
just
coffee.
Kidding, folks. But 2nd down and 8 from the 22-yard line. Once again, Anderson from the shotgun, and here's a handoff. Stevens again. Heavy dose of Stevens here, and across the 25 up to around the 27-yard line, 3 yards short of the first down. It'll be 3rd down and 3, as all of a sudden Forney's kind of turned into 3 yards in a cloud of dust from the old maybe Bo Schembechler days or Woody Hayes back in those days. Everybody's going, who? Who are those guys?
You and I know.
Yeah, you have to have gray hair and remember the 60s.
125, who remembers the 60s? 125 left in the third quarter, 42-28 our score, Wildcats lead.
Here's 3rd down and 3 now, another empty backfield for the Jackrabbits. 2 receivers left and right, and they've got like a B back that kind of tight end position with Morgan. And now we have a timeout taken by Forney. And 1:13 left in the third quarter. Wildcats 42, Forney 28. And we'll take the break with them, and we'll be right back.
1:13 to go in the third quarter. 42 for the Wildcats, 28 for Forney. And we were just making observations about lack of coffee in press boxes around the area.
3rd down and 3, and that's absolutely right. I would agree with that 100%. So here's a malfunction at the junction. It's like the center did not get the memo or something. Everybody else broke, and he held the ball.
Got false start. The entire offensive line of Forney. 5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
Now, that was a class action. That was
no kidding,
Forney's entire offensive line, but you could not indict the center. He was not at fault.
The ball just remained on the ground.
So here's 3rd down and 8, the ball back at the 22-yard line, and here's a snap and fake, and the quarterback takes it ripping up the middle, and he looks close to a 1st down at the 30-yard line.
Up. Got a little flag here.
Number 3, Austin Reed.
Yeah, there was some untoward stuff happening in the secondary, and that drew a flag there.
Yeah, we're now discussing it here. Here's the call. Well, I thought. Here he goes.
Personal foul, Wildcats.
Well, that's a preliminary call. Now, here's the
Got personal foul. Number 92, Sulphur. It's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic 1st down.
So that, boy, that kind of stuff is wearing thin on the coaching staff. They've had some terrible lapses where big 15-yard. One was just somebody running their mouth at the end of a play, and and the official having enough of it. And so we've had several of these, and here's a 15-yard penalty all the way up to the 45-yard line. First down and 10 for the Jackrabbits. They're in their own territory. They're trailing 42-28, just 50 seconds left here in the third quarter. And a flag flies high into the air. That's one of the nicest tosses of a flag I've seen.
55-40, it's a 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
So all of a sudden, a NFL preseason game is broken out here. When you know, the fifth-string quarterback from Patuxent University, you know, is in there trying to win a spot on the roster. Getting a few flags now. Back to the 40, and it'll be first down and 15 now. Forney at their own 40-yard line. Anderson back in the shotgun, takes the snap. He's back there and he fires down the field. He's got a big receiver, makes the catch down at the 30-yard line. Let me guess, 28, McMurrin.
Yep, and he's not getting up.
As Kevin Woolley confirms that.
And McMurrin on the field. Looks like we're going to have an official timeout again.
23 seconds, all that's left in the third quarter. Wildcats 42, Forney 28. Another injured player timeout. We'll be back in a moment. That was McMurrin, help from the field, and ready to go now. First down and 10, Forney at the Wildcat 32-yard line, and they'll try Stevens right up the middle, and Stevens moves the pile up across the 25 to the 24-yard line. That's 3 yards short of the first down gain of 7, and that's going to be the last play unless they decide to stop the clock. They're going to try to get in another play. They will not make it. It just hit triple zeros for the third quarter. And that's going to be the end of the third quarter. We've played 3 here from Gerald Prince Stadium. And the Wildcats leading Forney by the score of 42-28. And we'll be back with the start of the fourth quarter right after this break.
Fourth quarter, Wildcats lead 42-28 as we have 12 more minutes of regulation play.
And Forney will start the fourth quarter with a second down and 3 play from the Wildcats 24-yard line, and handoff to Stevens, and he was hit right at the same time he got the ball and thrown for a big loss. A great defensive play there by the Wildcats as they just came thundering in there and hit Stevens for a big loss. Actually, they pushed him back a little bit, so they're going to put the ball at the 26. And so it'll be third down now, and about 5 needed for Forney. And they only needed 3 before they ran that play, so they lost a couple. So big play here, that 4-down territory, you would think. But here's Anderson, and now the ball kind of came spitting back there. And once again, the Wildcats are clapping, and Forney has had a lot of trouble with just some basics of lining up and snapping the football tonight. They've had
penalty, replay third down.
Another kind of a false start, illegal procedure. My goodness.
Well, last time the ball didn't move, this time the ball did.
You know, this is a team playing, and I wondered if this would be an advantage. This is a team playing their 6th game of the season.
Well,
now, the Wildcats have this is the Wildcats' 4th game.
Yeah.
That's a lot of difference, and I thought that might, make a difference, but Forney looks like they started last week.
Yeah, they're having some real problems here.
So now they've got third down and 10.
Yeah, focus.
So Anderson, he said, where's that tall receiver? I know he's around here somewhere. 1 receiver to the left, 3 to the right. He's looking to the left, throws the ball down the field. Incomplete as Austin Dodd drilled, I think that was Peyton Johnson.
Right.
And Austin Dodd lit him up once he touched the ball, and he dropped that football. 4th down and 10 now from the 31-yard line. Wow, what a defensive play, Austin Dodd.
Yeah, it was.
And he's still limping around back there. He is not 100%. As he's had a tough night in the health department. He is, a couple of times shaken up at the end of plays where he's just given so much out there. Does so much for these Wildcats. Hard to not. I told Coach Owens he's making a shambles of our player of the week. He's winning it every week. Here's a 31-yard line, back to pass now, Anderson, and now he's trying to scramble out of there, and he's sacked by the Wildcats and dropped just inside the 30. The Wildcats turn the ball over on downs, and will have the ball at their own 29-yard line after a good defensive stand for the Wildcats, aided in part by Forney's penalties and stuff. And the Wildcats hold them, though, and we've got 10:56 left in the fourth quarter, and the Wildcats leading 42-28.
That was number 48 for the Wildcats. Is that Cameron?
Coffert.
Coffert, yeah.
Yeah.
He was the one who made that tackle. That was a great job.
Yeah, Cameron, he was one of the leaders I mentioned this week in tackles and assists for the Wildcats. A list about top 6. Here's Decorian Young pass. Incomplete. That could be a live ball. And the officials say yes, and Forney's going to score. As that ball went back behind the line of scrimmage, a pass intended for Damian Dugan. And Forney picked the ball up and running into the end zone for the Jackrabbits, Austin Ream. And Ream scores for Forney on a backward pass and a live football. Boy, that shows you how things can change. And you know, that's the way that Forney beat North Forney this year in district play, was some turnovers in the fourth quarter that they took advantage of. And they just changed the complexion of this whole football game.
Sure did.
Fixing to be a 7-point lead for the Wildcats. And ball is down, the extra point kick on the way, and the kick is good. Just like that, 10:45 left here in the fourth quarter, and new score now, Wildcats of Sulphur Springs 42, but Forney 35. And let's take a break, and we'll be back in a moment.
10:45 left to go in our game, and Forney scores on a ball that was basically a lateral that turned into a score. 42 for the Cats, 35 for Forney. What'd you call that one?
That a lateral? Is that a fumble, Butch? That's a fumble. That's Jimmy, the way he was explaining it just came to me there. That's all you can call that. It was a backward pass, and that's a live football. Here's a kick by Forney, and this one's going to be kicked out of bounds. It was kicked in the direction of Colton Allen. The flag flies where it went out of bounds there inside the 10. So Wildcats first down and 10, but boy, I feel like I got snake bit there. You know, you're 2 touchdowns ahead. Everything's looking good. The defense turns the ball over. And then a crazy play like that. And Forney just gets an instant 6.
Ball be placed 30 yards from the original spot of the kick. First down.
This referee's pretty good here in the center. A while ago, from the middle of the field, he picked up a flag and he threw it to the line judge on the side. This time, somebody picked up a flag and threw it to him while he was making the announcement. He caught it one-handed, just like there was nothing to it.
And they did mark it exactly as prescribed by him at the 30-yard line. It's 30 yards from where the ball was kicked, which was the 40. Decorian Young from the shotgun now takes the snap, and he will hand off. Here's Caden Davis. Davis ahead across the 35 to about the 37-yard line. That's a nice gain of 7 by Davis, and it'll be 2nd down and 3 for the Wildcats, as I would imagine they've been threatened in several ball games, and they've done real well at hogging the ball, and that's what they want to do right now on this 2nd down and 3, and they've got a perfect play here as they have 2nd and short. And that's all coordinators, offensive coordinators like 2nd and short. And Decorian Young from the shotgun here. 3 yards needed. Back to Decorian, looking down the field on the pass. He's going to scramble out of there. Now he's going to run with it. Across the 40, he can run so fast. Across the 45, across the 50, and then they converge on him, and some of those Wildcats are trying to protect their quarterback, but Decorian runs to the 50-yard line. 1st down and 10 for the Wildcats.
Sulphur Springs Dodge Chrysler Jeep 1st down.
And Decorian Young takes the snap, and he will let Davis do it this time. Around the corner he goes, across the 45 and down to about the 41 or 2-yard line. Let's call it the 42. And that will be another good gain of 8, and another coordinator's dream call here. 2nd down and 2. Love these things when you're a coordinator. And Decorian Young back in the shotgun. Forney jumps offside, and Decorian Young flush from the pocket. He's got a guy, he gets a block back there, fires it downfield, and just threw it into open space after he got outside enough.
They did see the flag.
Good. That was a Forney player moves into the neutral zone.
Encroachment. Forney, number 56. It's a 5-yard penalty. Result of the penalty will be a first down.
That sounds like a felony, encroachment.
It does, doesn't it?
Not offside or something, encroachment. Yeah, that sounds like you'd be seeing Eddie Northcutt on that one.
Burglary, felony 3.
Yeah. First down and 10 for the Wildcats now at the 37-yard line in Forney territory. And the clock down to 9:17, but the Wildcats would like to tack on another score. They lead by just 7. Corian Young waiting for the snap. Will take and hand off Colton Allen. And Allen down to about the 36-yard line. Very short gain of a couple yards, perhaps. Let's call it 1. That'll be second down and 9 for the Wildcats at the 36 as the clock clicks under 9 minutes. But that fast tempo stuff, forget about it.
Yeah.
They're taking their time now. This is very strategic, and they're very good at it. They have been so far this season. There's a snap. Oh, it's a bad snap picked up by Colton Allen, and he may regret that. He lost about 3 yards, but actually a very alert play by Colton. That ball bouncing around back there in the backfield. But he did lose some yardage back to the 38. So it's going to be 3rd and 11 for the Wildcats. They need another one of those big pass plays that they've been very good at tonight to continue drives. Corian Young on 3rd down and 11 takes the snap, and he will fake to the running back. He's looking, he fires the ball, a wide open receiver, 25, 20, and down to the 15. This is Austin Dodd, touchdown Wildcats. Oh my, how did Dodd get so wide open?
He was wide open out there. Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op says, way to go Wildcats, as Dodd was just standing there, caught it, looked around, and took off.
Oh my, DeCorian probably couldn't believe it. Is that Dodd all by himself in the secondary? But then you worry about getting the ball to him. Sometimes the player can be too wide open, but he put it right on the money. Very nice play with the Wildcats, and that gives them some breathing room. Extra point kick. Brandon Zavala, and the kick is good. 8:04 left here in the fourth quarter. New score here from Gerald Prince Stadium. The Wildcats of Sulphur Springs 49 and Forney 35. Let's take a break, and we'll be back in a moment.
8:04 left to go here in the fourth quarter. It is now 49 for the Wildcats, 35 for Forney, as the Wildcats score once again. And Wildcats certainly finding that open man here tonight, and great concentration by DeCorian Young.
And also making something happen with his legs.
Yeah.
Able to escape out of there and, get to the position where he could kind of really scan the field and find that open receiver.
Exactly.
And that's a pretty good guy to find, because we've talked all night long about how he just never quits and just keeps running and try to get open. Another reason why he's just a real good Wildcat. Here's a kickoff for Brandon Zavala. This will be a short one. It's going to hit at the 20-yard line, and Forney finally decides to pick it up, and good coverage. The Wildcats all over that ball that time. A very good kick coverage as the Wildcats stopped that actually inside the 20-yard line. Looks like they're going to mark it down around the 19. So the clock just went under 8 minutes. 7:59 left here in the fourth quarter. Wildcats leading 49-35. And I don't mind telling you, almost 8 minutes of football in this game is an eternity.
It seems that way, doesn't it?
You could score 4 touchdowns, either team. So lots of time still to go.
Don't discourage Duck.
So here come the Jackrabbits from the 19-yard line, those wascally wabbits. There's a snap and handoff, a running play, and that was bottled up, a loss on the play.
And a flag came in really quick. Let's see what that's going to be here in a second.
It looked like Guerrera got credit for the tackle.
Personal foul against the Wildcats.
Oh my goodness.
Face mask. We'll get the call right now.
Doggone it. Somebody just
Personal
grabbed
foul.
them.
Face mask, number 50, Sulphur Springs. It's a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
That was Guerrera, and he was celebrating a good defensive play, but I don't know if he was trying to mask the fact that he maybe got a little of that face mask. But the officials did not miss it, and so first down and 10 now for the Jackrabbits. Guerrero doing a great job, by the way, on the nose for the Wildcats defense. First down and 10 now for Forney at their own 36-yard line. Anderson, a naked backfield.
Now we've got problems.
And once again, Forney having difficulty.
Number 9, Sulphur Springs.
Uh-oh.
Got a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Boy, Coach Guerrero's on the field, and he is not happy at all with that turn of events. Of course, he's got a lot to think about out there with sending all that instruction to the defense. And so a penalty on the Wildcats, and first down and 5 now for Forney at their own 41-yard line. Was getting ready to jump all over those Jackrabbits again for not being able to get a play off. 3 receivers out to the right, 2 to the left, and here's Anderson. He'll throw the ball down the field, incomplete. He left it short of the receiver. Just kind of rushed that throw. That's one, as the coach said, he just needs to work with him on his, said he had a baseball delivery as a baseball player, and he needs to have a football delivery to try to up that completion percentage a little. He's under 50% coming in. 3 receivers out to the right, 2 to the left. A lot of motion in the line,
and now what?
Well, somebody is either offside or drawing offside, or what was it? Encroaching. A little encroaching going on.
Encroachment. 59, Sulphur Springs. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Result of the penalty being a first down.
Yeah, 2 5s equal 10, so that's the second 5-yard penalty against the Wildcats.
That's about 30 yards of, no, about 25 yards, I guess.
Yeah, this is been a weird stretch here. Still 7:44 left here in the fourth quarter. Forney down 35-49 to the Wildcats. We have a timeout taken on the field. 7:44 left in the fourth quarter. Wildcats 49 and Forney 35. We'll be back in a moment. Here's Forney, first down and 10 from their own 45. A pass is caught in the secondary and will move to the Wildcats about the 40-yard line in Wildcats territory. Actually, they'll call it the 41. First down and 10 for Forney, and they are in a big hurry now as they're up tempo as they're down by 14 points, just 7:36 left, fourth quarter. Here's an out pattern. The ball is caught, and the Wildcats tackle the receiver at the 35-yard line. That's 4 yards short of the first down, as that pass was caught by Xavion Waters. Plays some on defense as an outside linebacker, also a receiver. And so here's second down and 4 now from the Wildcat 35-yard line. Back to Anderson. He pumps the ball down the middle of the field, incomplete. Austin Dodd kind of giving a bump to Stevens out of the backfield. Keeps Stevens from catching that ball. Third down and 4 for Forney now at the Wildcat 35-yard line.
Good defense by Dodd on that play.
Absolutely, it was. Cameron Warren, his position coach out there, talking to him about that play. Probably saying good effort like that. Here's a handoff. Stevens sweeping the right side. He's going to get the first down across the 30, across 25, down around the 22-yard line. Let's call it the 23. First down and 10 for the Jackrabbits. Clock under 7 minutes to go here as it's just creeping and crawling here in the fourth quarter. Wildcats leading 49-35. Anderson from the shotgun. 2 receivers left and right for Forney. And will again try Stevens on the running play. And this one, heavy resistance on that right side after a short gain. Wildcats doing a good job of bottling up Stevens on that play. And looks like no gain on the play. Second down and 10 from the 23-yard line. Kylan Wade among the tacklers. As the clock at 6:17 here in the fourth quarter. Anderson from the shotgun takes the snap, fakes to the running back. He looked like he wanted to give it to him. Now he doesn't know what to do, and he fires. He finds a receiver, caught, and he's heading to the end zone. Touchdown, Forney, as he hit Xavion Waters, and looked like he was confused there, but it looked like you draw it up that way, and hits for the touchdown pass. It's about, I think maybe 23 yards.
Yeah.
Touchdown pass.
About that. Waters certainly focused on that one. Oh, now here's the 2-point.
And they try the swinging gate. They did not get it in there. And that's one thing I noticed from looking at Forney games. They've gone for 2 a lot, and I don't know that they've made a 1 this year. They have come up short, and they just came up short again. And that is a big point.
It is.
Although, well, you know, instead of a 7-point lead, it's 8. So you can always try another one the next time. 6:03 left here in the fourth quarter. New score now from Gerald Prim. Wildcats 49 and Forney 41. We'll be back in a moment.
6:03 to go in the fourth quarter. 49 for the Wildcats, 41 for Forney, as Forney just really kind of gained momentum there at the last series.
You know, I smell an onside kick. What do you think?
Well,
I don't know. You could play it pretty straight. You could kick deep and just try to play defense. So there's a couple of things.
yeah.
They kind of have that look, those guys on the right side of the kicker.
Yeah.
Kind of look in onside mode to me. So Wildcats are, they're certainly aware of all that.
He's looking over this way, making sure the guys are spaced properly.
And here's Forney on the kickoff. We'll see if they have any trickery. And no, they're going to boot it deep. They're going to kick deep, and Chalk Sims will catch the ball at the 6. He comes across the 10. Chalk to the 15, 20. Flag flies. Chalk across the 30, 35, 40. Chalk may run for a while. He's across the 50. Dragged down.
That should have been a flag there.
40 inside the 45-yard line in Forney territory, but we had a hold on the Wildcats on the kick from the get-go. And there was no matching foul. Jimmy didn't like that tackle down there.
Holding. 14 Sulphur Springs. It's going to be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
And what really hurts there is going to be terrible field position now. The Wildcats trying to hang on to this 8-point lead. They've still got 5:51 left on the clock, so they would like to. Let's see where we are in the timeout department. Looks like Forney has all 3 of their timeouts left. The Wildcats only have 1 left. But the ball back at the 14-yard line for about the 5th or 6th time tonight. The Wildcats have started inside their own 20-yard line. But if you're just looking to hog the ball, maybe that's one spot's as good as the next. DeCorian Young back there will take the snap, and he fakes and will keep. DeCorian running across the 15 to the 20, the 25 to 30, and out at about the 35-yard line for the Wildcats. A first down and 10 on the nice run there by DeCorian Young to get us 21 yards out of that really bad field position.
That Sulphur Springs Dodge Chrysler Jeep first down came at the right time and in the right way.
And the clock stopped on the out-of-bounds play. 5:42 left here in the fourth quarter. Wildcats hanging on 49-41, trying to hog the ball right now. DeCorian Young from the shotgun will take the snap. This handoff sweeping to the right. This is Davis, and Davis maneuvers forward a little bit on the play. Will move across the 35 up to about the 37. That's only a gain of 2. He did a lot of east-west running on that one and kind of giving up some ground to try to get around the corner. And net result, a 2-yard gain. It'll be second down and 8 for the Wildcats as the clock down to 5:15 and counting here in the fourth quarter. Wildcats up 49-41. Corian Young from the shotgun will take the snap. He turns and fakes to the running back. He'll run to the right and fire the ball down the field. Another open receiver caught across the 50. It's Dodd again. Dodd heading down the sideline, and Austin Dodd will go all the way for a touchdown for the Wildcats.
And Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op says, way to go Wildcats, as Dodd jumped over a defender, just a small little jump to get free there and to go into the end zone for that touchdown.
Boy, is there anything like an Energizer bunny? Austin Dodd, just all the energy in the world, and how in the world is he getting wide open? And he goes 63 yards for the touchdown, and about 50 of it was on a run. And here's the extra point as the Wildcats once again have a little breathing room here. 4:53 left. Remember Mount Pleasant what was it, 73 to 67 or something?
Something like that.
I'm beginning to get that feeling. 4:53 left to go here in the fourth quarter. The Wildcats of Sulphur Springs 56 and the Forney Jackrabbits 41. We'll take a break here. Back in a moment.
4:53 to go in the fourth quarter. 56 for the Wildcats, 41 for Forney. And right now, Don, I think we're going to say that Balcom Insurance defensive play of the game was that onside kick.
I really liked it. It changed the dynamic of that third quarter. I mean, all of a sudden, Butch is talking about, well, Forney will get the ball first. No, they didn't. Because of that kickoff, it just changed everything in an instant quick touchdown. Here's a short kick taken by a Forney receiver, and then he is covered very well by Wildcat special teams. They'll like that when they see that on tape. As they watch it together, they'll say, now that's how to cover a kick, fellas. That was very nicely done to the 28-yard line. Forney in their own end of the field. They've got 4:49 left. They're down by 15 points now, 56 to 41. Kind of the old expression, the hurrier I get, the further behind I get.
Yeah.
And Forney trying to hurry and trying to score and catch up. And every time they look up, they're back further behind. They're down 15 now with 4:49 to go. Here's a play to Anderson. He shoots a pass. Now that's a backward pass. That one will make it out of bounds, though, before a charging Wildcat over there can get to it. That was clearly thrown back behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, we haven't mentioned the condensation tonight, but we do have a few drops of water falling here in the booth.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I had forgotten about that problem.
Yeah, there's just a little strip over here.
But I'm in the desert over here compared to you guys.
Well, Doug's been safe tonight.
Well, he saves on showers this way. Here's a pass down the field, incomplete for Forney. It'll be a 3rd down and 10 now. I was looking at that Wildcat nearest. That was Dietrich Clayton was over there kind of in the vicinity of that backward pass that just managed to eke out of bounds. They could have returned the favor like Forney did to us with an instant 6. But here's 3rd down and 10 now for Forney at their own 28-yard line. They've got 4:40 left here. They trail 56-41. Back to Anderson. He looks down the field. He fires the ball down the field. It is caught at the 41-yard line.
And that's a first down.
Player driven to the ground there again. That was McMurrin. And first down and 10 for Forney at their own 41-yard line. Clock at 4:32 and counting. Down by 15. Anderson back to pass. Throws the ball down the field. Oh, the player tried to tiptoe there, and they're going to say he caught the ball. Very nicely done by Peyton Johnson for the Jackrabbits. Peyton Johnson did a very nice tightrope act and was able to hang on to the ball. First down and 10. The ball rolling around down there now. And
one of the Wildcats accidentally tripped over it. He was on the wrong side of the ball.
So now at the 46 in Wildcat territory, first down and 10 for the Jackrabbits. Here's a pass. It's caught. Receiver moving downfield close to another 10 yards. Tackled inside the Wildcat 40 at about the 38. That'll be 2 yards short of a first down. As the officials doing their best to try to mark that ball quickly because Forney is in a big hurry. And that ball just was hard to catch there. 2nd down and 2 here, and Anderson back to pass. He will throw the ball out to the right. It's caught, and the player busted out of bounds inside the 30. First down and 10. They're going to give a flag on that? Come on now.
I have a feeling that was something said after the play.
Well, it could have been. It could have been a little mouthy stuff going on. I didn't see anything especially untoward with knocking the guy out of bounds.
Yeah.
So maybe you're right, Jimmy. Let's give the stripes, guys in the stripes, benefit of the doubt there.
And while we're doing that, Ennis beats Royce City 26-7.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 9 of Sulphur Springs. It's going to be half the distance in the first down.
Well,
so Ennis is a winner, and they beat Royce City. Was that?
That is correct, 26-7. And then North Forney has defeated Greenville 49-21.
Okay, so all we need now is Terrell and Corsicana, and that was a one-sided game.
Yeah, 28-0, Corsicana with 1:48 left.
Well, let's go ahead and put that in the win column. Corsicana is the one we're looking at because the Wildcats will remain a half game behind. Here's a play and thrown down the middle of the field, incomplete. As once again, Anderson throwing to the end zone, this time missed on the pass. So it'll be second down and 10. The ball at the 15-yard line in Wildcat territory. 3:47 left in the game that just refuses to end here. What's going to happen is when we get through here, it's going to say the 5th quarter. And Doug and Jimmy just said, oh no. Here's a handoff. Stevens around the right side. He'll head all the way into the end zone. Touchdown for Forney. Once again, a 15-yard touchdown run in a game that
and this one
just keeps going and keeps scoring here.
Onside kick changes the.
Oh yeah, you got to do that
too.
Now. And let's see, here's 1 or 2. You know, what do you do? Because they're down right now by 9 points.
Well, they're moving the ball over.
I say you've got to kick this. You've just got to kick this. If you don't make this, then you make it a 2-possession ball game. You kick the extra point right now, and then you go for the 2.
They're going for the 2.
I don't understand this. And maybe they want to talk it over.
Well, the referee kind of moved the ball in its position, and I think that's the.
No timeout taken by Forney. They'll want to talk this over. 3:41 left here in the 4th quarter. Our new score here at Gerald Prim Stadium. Wildcats of Sulphur Springs 56 and Forney 47. We'll take a break. Back in a moment.
Five seconds. 4, 3, 2.
Here's a play for 2. Pass is incomplete. I told you I've not seen Forney convert any of their 2-point tries after touchdown, and they just failed again. And this has dramatic circumstances. Wait a minute.
This guy could have caught the ball, but he didn't.
Well, we need Jim Moore to correct his scoreboard because he had given them an extra point.
Yeah, he's got it fixed.
He had me confused because I thought I had this right, and I do. The Wildcats will lead 56-47, a 9-point lead. That's a 2-possession game now, and it almost dictates an onside kick. Anyway, 3:41 left here in the 4th quarter. You want to just keep it here, Jimmy? Or
let's just keep it here because if you score a touchdown, if you do an onside kick and you score a quick cut touchdown, you get an onside kick and you kick a field goal, you lead by 1.
Yeah, and if a cow had wings,
well,
he wouldn't bump himself when he tried to take off. I mean,
yeah, but I mean, you got 3:41 in the way they've been playing. I wouldn't put anything past.
Well, you just call for 2 successful onside kicks.
Well, yeah.
But I guess in a perfect world where you can, order what you want, the Wildcats, they've got the hands team. They have everybody up there within right around the 50-yard line. That's the magic point of going 10 yards here. And a Forney onside kick coming up. 3:41 left in the 4th quarter. Wildcats by 9. Here's the onside kick, and it will skitter out of bounds without any possession, and so that will help the Wildcats. It's a kick out of bounds, and the Wildcats somewhere around midfield will have the football. So that helps. But now Forney, another thing too that they could have been thinking about is the fact they still do have 2 timeouts. So they can stop the clock twice that way. And they're going to put the ball at the 46 Wildcat territory. And there's 3:41 left here in the 4th quarter. And the Wildcats up by 9 now, 56-47. Back to DeCorian Young, and he'll hand off. This is Colton Allen, and Allen straight ahead to about the 49-yard line. That's a short gain of 3. It'll be second down and 7. But the good news for the Wildcats, the clock ticketh. And it's at 3:23 and ticking on down here. They've got another 27 that they can just about use all of that before a snap. Corey and Young looking, I'm sure, getting a lot of help on the play call here on what Coach Young wants to do. And let's see, we're down to 10 seconds on that play clock, so they'll let that drop maybe just a bit. But you don't want to get a delay penalty here, and it's down to 3 seconds. Corian Young says, give me that ball. And he'll hand off Colton Allen, and maybe a loss. They're going to mark it right at the line of scrimmage. So at least one is on one end of the field now. That thing was moving all over the place, but they put it down right where it was. 3rd down and 7. And timeout taken by Forney. 2:39 left in the 4th quarter. Wildcats 56, Forney 47. We'll take a break here, back in a moment.
2:39 left to go in the 4th quarter. 56 for the Cats, 47 for Forney. Don't forget 9 a.m. Coaches Show Saturday morning. You can hear it on KSST, see it on Channel 18 Suddenlink TV. Don't forget this game being videotaped. You can see it on Channel 18. You can also see it on YouTube a little later. And high school scoreboard, what's left of it, coming up after this game.
And here's a big 3rd down and 7 for the Wildcats at their own 49-yard line. Corian Young back in the shotgun will take the snap, and he will hand off. And here's Colton Allen across the 50. That's the 1st down across the 40 down to the 35-yard line. What a huge play for the Wildcats. And offensive line coach Jeremy Offit with the hands high in the air. He was loving that offensive line for blasting holes open and having that running back run for the 1st down. That comes very close to clinching this victory for the Wildcats. They still have 2:20 left in the game, and so I'm a little antsy about making a call here.
Yep.
But 1st down and 10 from the 35-yard line for the Wildcats. The clock right at 2 minutes. Corian takes the snap and handoff again. Colton Allen, that senior veteran in there. And Allen crosses the 35 to about the 34-yard line. That's a gain of about 1 yard. But that's not the most important thing. It keeps that clock rolling. Down at 1:45. And the Wildcats can take that down to about 1:16 or something, or close down in that area, before they even have to snap the ball. And again, Forney with only 1 timeout left. Boy, what a wild football game. These two teams are probably saying, gee, we had such fun. Why haven't we done this more than twice over the last million years or something? Here's a handoff again. Allen sweeping to the left, and Allen will run for another 1st down as he moves all the way inside the 20-yard line. That ought to get another raised hands from, there we go. Thank you. Thank you, Coach Offit. He's exhorting now. That's an offensive line coach exhorting, watching his fellas get the job done when they needed it. 1:10 left here in the 4th quarter. The knee play now is set up, and Corian will take the knee. And that clock never started. There it goes. Took a while. I guess he was out of bounds, so had to stop the clock. And the clock is now at 1 minute. Forney still has a timeout, but I don't know. Again, now, you know, if you kick a while ago, and the last time I'm going to say this, but you're down by 8 points, and it's a 1-possession game. But now, you know, 2 possessions. I mean, only on Disney or something, you know, would you see a comeback like this. Corian Young looks like another knee play, and he'll do it again. He does that so nicely. It's one of my favorite plays, by the way, when my team is running it. And now the Wildcats are celebrating victory here. There's still 26 seconds left on the clock, but they've wrapped it up here. They do not have to snap the ball another time. And what a wild and crazy football game just from the get-go tonight. This has been just a score fest from the very beginning. Little did we know, back when that first Wildcat touchdown was scored, and wouldn't you know, I'm not doing very good with my notes. I did not put at what time that happened, but little did we know that we were going to have 100 points here tonight, and 103 to be exact. The Wildcats win 56-47, and kind of giving you an update, an instant update on the standings now that we can do that. Corsicana is 4-0. The Wildcats are 3-0. And Ennis is 3-1. And that is where the Wildcats will go next week to play a very good Ennis program. 3-1 in district play. And the Wildcats are 3-0. Corsicana 4-0. And then Kaufman with a bye 2-1. So Those are your top 4 teams right now: Corsicana, Sulphur Springs, Ennis, and Kaufman. But as Coach Owens keeps stressing, this district is going to go, we've got another 5-6 weeks, something seemed like. Actually 5 more weeks. We've got 5 more games to play in district play. So it's, let's not print the playoff tickets quite yet, because a lot of football still left to be played in this huge district of 9 teams. And an exciting game to do tonight. It seemed like we saw some stuff that you just don't see. And actually, I want to talk real quickly about the Lady Cats. They lost a big one to Texas High tonight in 5 sets. They won the first set. Texas High won the next one. Then they went ahead 2-1. Then Texas High won the 4th one and the 5th one. And it wasn't even very close in the 5th one. Unfortunately, it was the Lady Cats just had some tough moments there. But the thing I saw that I've never seen before, a soccer game broke out tonight, Jimmy. I did not know that you could get a yellow card in volleyball.
Oh, yeah?
Now, a volleyball coach, oh, yeah, I'm sure they're saying that. I have never seen it. I have done, volleyball now for 13 years here in Sulphur Springs. We don't do a whole lot of games every year, but I've seen tons more. And I've never seen a yellow card, but there was a yellow card tonight. So that was bizarre. So in this football game had some things that you just don't see a whole lot. That backward pass for an instant touchdown for Forney. The weird kick in the 3rd quarter that, you see that sometime where the team just does not play it very well. But you add it all up, and it's a W.
Yep, it is that. And Wildcats do win 56-47. North Forney beats Greenville 49-21, Corsicana 28, Terrell 0, Ennis 26, Royce City 7. And other scores coming up for you here later on as we go to high school scoreboard this evening. And Eric Buck just texted me to say he got a yellow card one time. So I guess, yeah.
Mild Eric Buck got a yellow card.
So let me just simply remind you, tomorrow morning, Saturday, 9 a.m., Coach's Show, KSST Channel 18. The game will be on Channel 18. We'll have it on YouTube here a little later this evening or tomorrow morning. And don't put any pressure on Doug there. And then high school scoreboard coming up. A lot of other great activities going on throughout the day tomorrow. And just stay with us on KSST as we follow these Wildcats. We'll see you next Friday night. For Don Julian, who's done play-by-play, Doug Haston, who's done video for Channel 18, Butch Burney, who has been with us with statistics and will have a story for us that will be posted on KSSTradio.com. I'm Jim Rogers. Have a great evening.